to another stream. Yeah, today we are doing something different. I don't know how many I don't know how many people are coming by from Twitter actually. I think most people are just seeing me in the feed there and then they are checking by. But yeah, the YouTube people might just have received 2 notifications for a stream. One for the vertical stream and one for the horizontal stream. Because today we are testing out 2 different formats. And yeah, that's how it looks like. We have 2 streams. One is vertical. It's in no playlist. It's just existing. Maybe I have to make a playlist for it. I don't know. And the other one is just normal. Like you can see this one. And the other one is just... This is us. Just explaining thing and creating a freaking infinite thing. And then in the vertical stream, the same is happening, but in vertical format. This is just for phones, obviously. And I'm just testing things out. The chat for both should be working. I haven't tested it yet, actually. Let me write vertical Ryuwu in the chat. It pops up on my right and it pops up on the left as well. So, okay. Everything is working as it should. The chat is working. The formats are working. And how do you like this? Do you see those effects? Do you like them? I really like them. Those effects. I didn't know what to put there. I was thinking about putting the picture like in blurry over there. But then I was like, I don't know, man. This feels kind of weird. So I made some matrix effects, which are synchronized with the picture. So if we switch over here now, then yeah, you can see how it changed. Yeah. So yeah, we have some high quality streams today. I'm still testing the thing out. I was thinking, because I hear that YouTube is rolling out like a feature where you have both in one, but apparently this is not possible yet. So we might stay with this format for now, like having 2 streams every time. I think one stream, maybe I should make like a vertical stream playlist. I don't know. You know, some people like to watch on their phone. And then now they can see me bigger than usual. They can see the screen. I checked on my phone. The screen size is round about the same as before. So nothing should change so much over there. Because it's round about the same size. Just now you don't have to rotate your phone, you know. And you have a little bit space on the bottom for the chat, you know. Or the emojis, you know. You have all those weird icons on the bottom. So, yeah. Actually, I haven't checked it on Shotomata. The chat I haven't checked. I checked it with like a template thing. But I haven't checked it on my thing. Wait, Shotomata. Channel. Live. Vertical. Let me check the overlay. Okay, I'm gonna make a screenshot. Okay, I made a screenshot. There's... Can I send this to my thing? There's some cut out going on there. Some things are cut out. I need to fix that. So yeah, I will take it for learning for myself. I saw in the template that I used, there was something about lines that are, you know, not in the thing. But yeah. Okay. I learned my lesson. I will improve it to the next stream, which is tomorrow. But yeah, for today, we only have Black Friday going on. Did you buy something for Black Friday? Did you spend your money? I did. I can tell you about my purchases. I bought a new chair. You know, my chairs, I was making these noises because it's freaking wood. And it's a chair I bought for $30. I think it was not... I mean, it was on sale for $30. I think usually it costs like 50 or 60. So for me, it was worth the price. But this time I went a little bit up in the price and I bought a new chair. And then hopefully in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, whenever it arrives, then we are not having those noises anymore. But yeah, this time I bought a gaming chair. for 90 bucks. So hopefully it will be better. It's double the price. It's double the price. What? Stream Elements is... What? Stream Elements, what are you doing? I did set you up. Why are you sending this message? Okay, well, I will check out what's going on there. Yeah. Okay. So, I think I should stop bubbling around so much. We are here to see the reaction. We are here to explore why Black Friday was invented, or where is it coming from. Because that's the topic of the video today. Today we will see the reality, the dark reality of Black Friday. That's the title of the first video we are watching. So yeah, also for the YouTube people, doesn't matter if horizontal or vertical. In the description, if you wanna see any of the videos yourself, or you wanna give them a like, you wanna, you know, I don't know, subscribe to the channel, see other videos of the channel, or send it to your friends, do whatever you like with the videos. Everything is linked in the description. So, yeah, you can do all of those things. Alright, and with this out of the way, I think we can get right into it. Yeah. Wait, did I show? Yeah, no, I did show you the whole vertical looks like. I'm just repeating myself. Okay, yeah, we have 3 videos today. We have the dark reality of Black Friday. Then we have the untold story of Black Friday, how it began and why it follows. So hopefully in the beginning they will explain what Black Friday is and stuff like this. I hope they will not go too deep into this history. Then we will go into the history in the second video. And in the third video we are talking about consumerism. The consumption of things. And I hope they will also go a little bit into how it changed over time. And you know, there's this example of, I think it was Alilia, like in the early, I don't know, 1400s to 1500s, something around that. There was like a flower, and the flower didn't, no one knew the flower, and then some guy sold it for like a lot, and then he was like, maybe I should get more of these flowers, and then he sold a lot more, and became a rich man, and then the value dropped, and everyone buying those flowers then suddenly had like 0 value because someone else found a lot of these flowers and started selling them for low value, something like that. So I hope they will go into this a little bit as well. But yeah, we will see. What else do I have to say? I think nothing much. That's pretty much it for this segment, and we can actually start with the video. So yeah, the first video, the first video is from Big Tuck, and it's quite a new video. It dropped 6 days ago, so it's really fitting and really new, and you know, blinky. Okay, I will just stop. Okay, let's start with the video.
Black Friday, an apocalyptic day
yes.
where the average man will beat another man for the chance of a good deal. Like your first
Yeah, wait, what? Is this a sponsorship right now? Is this a segment?
month of Extra Tug over at extratug.com for only $1. That's right, full
Damn,
access to
only
the Extra Tug
$1.
catalog for only $1 on your
Wait,
first
this is
month. If you use
Patreon?
discount code SELLOUT.
Damn.
Oh, damn it, I died, and I can't swear right away in the video, so Chris is gonna have to bleep that. Yes,
Why? You can just say, right?
my child, you have died. Welcome to what we call heaven. What we call heaven,
Oh.
okay, that's a weird caveat to put on that, but you're God, I assume? Yes, I'm God. I feel like that's pretty obvious for what we're doing right now. Wow, a plain
Well,
white
you might
tee,
also be
much
an
like
angel,
I'm wearing.
you know.
Seems like we didn't have a costume budget for this episode. How about you
Oh,
shut up
no.
about that, and also, why are you...
Why didn't you have a custom budget? You can write it off taxes. Wait, let me fix something real quick. Shut up. There we go. I needed to recalibrate. Hopefully it's better now.
you here? How did you die? Well, I guess you could say I died celebrating Jesus, in a way.
Jesus?
I guess we could go with that. Oh, okay, that's pretty rad. I'm gonna need a couple more details, though. Seems like you're hiding something. Okay, feel like you should already know that. But I guess this is how you work, right? Like, you need me to say it in order for it to be real. I don't really know Christianity. Anyway,
What?
it was a Black Friday
Is this
sale.
how it works? Is this how it works? I didn't know it works like that.
And everyone was getting a little antsy. Okay, yeah, all right. And I was, in the spirit of Jesus, I was crushed while trying to run away with a 65-inch flat screen TV for $200.
Sounds reasonable.
I see, my child. And what compelled you to lose your life for a Vizio? It was the temptation of the 50% off Black Friday deal, sir. I don't think that was worth dying for. I think we can both agree. But my son, you see, you were deceived. The TV prices were jacked up right before it went on sale so they could promise a bigger discount.
Yeah, I saw this a lot as well. I saw on the share I bought, by the way. The share I was talking about. I saw the same thing. I was looking up the price history because obviously I want to make a good deal when I buy it, you know. And I bought it for $90 in sale. They ramped up the price to $370. So I had a big, a really big discount. But I checked the history, and usually it costs like 120. So, yeah.
What? No, Father, no! Yes, and for the sin of lusting after Black Friday, I must now send you to hell. Honestly, you were never gonna make it to heaven. I've seen all that extra tug stuff, and it's kind of lame, and also you're a little pussy dork. Okay. I feel like that was a sales pitch, but then you called me a dork at the end, so I don't know if I should thank you. Black Friday. Did you guys like that skit? I feel bad for Chris because he's gonna have to edit the out of that, and I feel like it's gonna be really hard and honestly look really bad, even though it's not his fault. For many Americans, Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. Chestnuts are roasting on an open fire, while some freak named Jack Frost nips at your nose.
Who is Jack Frost?
We all know the actual reason for the holiday: spending, spending, spending. That
exactly, and it's not even stopping with Black Friday. I'm pretty sure the reason why people extend this stuff is because you can put it into December, and then you can advertise what's the name? Like this calendar thing right away, and then you can go, oh look, pre-Christmas sales. So they can continue their sale thing on the things that they don't need, basically. Like but I know you should I think some of you are aware that Komoribi is existing. So how do I explain this? I mean, the issue is it is existing, but we are not operating it. But we have our own clothing store. It's just I'm waiting for stuff right now, and I still need to fix some things. But overall, the thing is, wait, where was he? I lost the thing.
But we all know the actual reason for the holiday.
The stock. I wanted to speak about the stock. Yeah, so basically, you have a huge haul of stuff, and you wanna get everything out. So you are like, okay, how do we get this stuff out? Most people are putting it into this calendar thing, you know. Things that wasn't selling good over the year, they put it in the calendar, and then they put like 1 or 2 items that might be worth the calendar to put into the calendar, you know, so that they are not always like the cheap stuff, and you know they have some happiness in between. And that's how the business works. Also with the sales, like you put things on sale where it's more expensive to keep them in your storage than you know, selling them for 50% of the price from what you originally bought it. So yeah, I mean that's the business. And then you can put you can fill the space with new items that, you know, from the new collection coming in January, or from something that is selling better than that. It's simple logistics. Hey there, I'm Fresh here. Hello, how are you doing today? How are you doing? Ferocious. I will just call you Pharaoh, okay? Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's basically how it works with Black Friday and also those pre-Christmas sales. Like people, the things that are not selling on the Black Friday sales, but that you want to get out of your storage, you are selling them in pre-Christmas sales right after Black Friday. Or they are like, oh, we are extending our Black Friday week to, I don't know, give name, you know. So yeah, that's usually how it goes. And then you never see the item again. Okay, call me Pharaoh then. It's better than hearing ferocious. Yeah. If you have another nickname, just let me know. Just let me know.
Holiday. Spending. That cold hard cash. That cold hard.
Did you buy something for Black Friday? Did you buy any games from Steam maybe? I don't know. Not everyone likes to game. I found this out myself. I was speaking with someone that I was gaming a little bit with, and he was like, "Yeah, usually I only play this game like 2 hours a day. The other time of the day I'm spending outside." I'm like, "What? What? You are touching grass? You are doing this? Why are you touching grass?" And it's crazy. It's crazy. But and it was such an interesting thing. I also asked this person, "What did you spend your money on Black Friday?" And he was like, "Oh, I bought a new TV. I bought like a new controller as well, so I can play this game a little bit better." And I was like, "Dude, you are playing it 2 hours a day." It's crazy how many people are spending many people are spending the money for. And yeah, I mean the rest he was spending for normal human things. Like he was buying some new lamps. He wanted some RGB in his house and stuff like this. It's crazy. I did purchase stuff on Black Friday, say, in Clash Royale. Oh, damn. Wait, Clash Royale was the game where you have like wait, I'm gonna check this game now. I'm not... There are so many games with this... I was getting confused with Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. Okay, it is this game, okay. It was the game I was thinking about. So you bought some nice cards, some nice units. Or some upgrades, probably. Probably upgrades. I don't know. I haven't played this game in a long time. Clash Royale is a big game by Supercell. Yeah. I always get confused with Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. Like every time I hear the name, I'm thinking of both at the same time. So I look it up so I get the correct one. Supercell owns Clash of Clans too. Yes, they do. I mean, the logo is also really similar, to be fair.
Hard Coles cash. That's right. The line.
Wait, what?
Spending. That cold hard cash. That cold hard Coles cash. That's right. The lining of baby Jesus's manger is not hay. It is cold hard Benjamins. Gallup estimates that the average American will spend $1,000 on Christmas gifts this year. I don't know what kind of American that.
I already bought my Christmas gifts. I have to say, I already bought them before Black Friday as well. But yeah.
That is, I'm not spending $1,000. You guys, I don't love my family that much. And the signal.
That is probably true. I don't know how much I spent on Christmas gift. I think like $200, something around that. But I bought it for full family, like pretty much every family member. And I bought pretty basic stuff as well.
Of the beginning of this annual.
Like I had one book and I bought just like 5 books of the same book, so everyone gets the same and nobody can blame me for being a freaking. Because I'm giving one person this book and the other one this book, you know.
Shopping spree is always the day after Thanksgiving. Also,
it's prime right now. Yeah.
Known as Black Friday. If this idea of co-opting a religious holiday in order to just do a bunch of consumerism sounds f***ed up, well, you're not wrong. And that's not even the worst part of this disturbing Christmas tradition. Tuglets, get ready for a deep dive.
Is it time yet? Not to Friday, George. Oh, okay.
Dive past discounts and extended shopping hours to discover
from 7 to 11 a.m. That's really specific. That is really specific.
the darker side of Black Friday. One that has a body count. People have died to get a Ninja Blendy or whatever the hell they're called.
But
what is that?
First, let's do an ad.
Oh
I am an
no!
overall anxious human being.
Okay, what is the
scare
ad?
You definitely scares me, and that amount of daily stress would make any little rat brain like mine want to self-destruct. Which is why I'm a big fan of a little company called Five. That's right, times are a change.
There's no way I could have ever guessed this one. Pineapple? Don't put it on your pizza.
Introducing their new line of federally legal quick hit gummies, which are perfect for a fellow like myself. These little guys are fast-acting 15 milligram.
Wait, what is this? Is it like a supplement?
I am not kidding. Instead of the old 45 to an hour, these bad boys start.
Oh no, I can already see it. He will talk about Black Friday sale, no?
Hitting in 10 minutes or less. which if you know that's insane.
Do they have
use
a Black
little thing
Friday
called
sale?
nano emulsion, which makes them hit quick, but also hit even. So it's not like getting a
Wait,
rocket
what?
ship to the face,
Cannabis
which is what I
eat-
need, because if it
what?
comes on too quick, I get really scared. Each flavor has a specific strain
Wait,
terpene
what?
blend as well, for those of us who care
Wait, what is going on here?
about that kind of thing. And I'm so hyped that they have Blue Dream.
Is he making
Blue
an
Dream is
ad for
always and will
cannabis
always be
right
the
now?
best strain. It's the best, ever since I was
This is legal in the US? What? That's crazy.
in high school. So if you are 21 years old, you can get these conveniently delivered, third-party tested, 100% federally legal, fast-acting gummies for free if you use the link in my
free?
description and just pay shipping. You get a pack free,
Damn.
just pay for shipping. It's so simple.
But probably only in the US.
Look at
Probably.
these guys. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. It's the future. 5's fast-acting gummies delivered straight to your door. Back in my
Damn.
day, I had to get into a stranger's car.
What?
Things are different now. It's proven time and time again
Damn.
that putting
Okay,
black
they don't have a Black Friday sale. Okay. Fair enough.
in front of a word is usually not a good sign. You have blackouts, blackmail, black eyed peas. They had that one song where they had to rename it Let's Get It Started.
Nothing against Black Eyed
But we
Peas.
all know how that actually started. The term Black Friday was initially used to describe the U.S. gold market crash in 1869.
Oh,
you guys
damn
want
it. We are already learning about the past. Okay,
a little bit of
that's
history?
fine.
You thought we're just going to talk about people dying for flat screens? No.
Yeah.
You're going to learn a little something today, and you're going to sit there and you're going to take it like a good little girl. Boy, sorry. That
Wait,
got weird.
what?
The late 19th century in America
But
was
I'm
an
a
era
dragon.
of powerful industrialists known as robber barons, who often
Lumber.
exploited natural resources and politicians to
Linen.
amass great wealth. This was in the past, though. These people don't exist anymore, robber barons. We should start calling these robber barons. That would be perfect. Although this was a little different because
Damn.
this was back when government
Oh.
intervention in business was extremely minimal and regulations were practically unheard of. So it was
Yeah.
pretty easy for
I don't know
railroad
about
developer
that
Jay
picture.
Gold and stockbroker Jim Fisk to
This
buy
picture
as
look a
much
little bit
gold as
like
possible while
some
convincing the government
propaganda.
not to release any to the public. This drove up the price of gold for these robber barons while they were able to sell it back to the public for
Robber
inflated
barons.
rates. But when President Grant found out about their scheme, old conniving President
wanted to join
Grant,
in,
if
right?
it wasn't for you, Grant, he ordered the U.S. Treasury to sell
Oh.
a large amount of gold, increasing the supply and accidentally causing a crash that left many investors and businesses to lose entire fortunes. Now, while the
Damn.
crash hurt the economy big time, Gould and Fisk, Gould or Gold, I don't know, Gold and Fisk got out without any consequences, pretty much. So even though
Okay.
its origins didn't involve good deals on home entertainment systems, the first Black Friday already had a bad economic stank for the average American. But by the end of the 19th century, post-Thanksgiving shopping became big business. Just put those words big on the screen. Big business.
Big
Thank
business,
you. Many
yeah.
department stores sponsored Thanksgiving parades, and as part of the festivities, would open their doors to shoppers at the end of the festivities. This was a marketing tool that started as an unofficial beginning to the holiday shopping spree. But in 1939,
Yeah, because Christmas is about around the corner, so everyone is about to go shopping anyway. So if you now can do a specific day to put all the items you don't want for the Christmas or for for anything out, then you can already do it early now. You can start early. 1 week early is a good. I mean, if you can start your sales 1 week early, there's more time in which the consumer might be thinking, oh, maybe I should get this. Maybe this is a good deal, because afterwards the sale will continue, but in another type of thing. So, if you were already thinking about it before, probably in the next week you might be more into it, especially if someone that bought the item, like you didn't get it for Black Friday, but maybe it's still in sale for the pre-Christmas sale, and then or for the early Christmas sale or whatever they call it, and then you see and the person is like, oh look, I got this cool item, and then you are like going there and you're like, oh, it's still in sale, I will buy it now. So it's a really nice tactic. It's capitalism.
9, I don't know if you guys
At
are
its
history buffs
finest.
or not, but there was a little snafu. Thanksgiving had always been celebrated on the last Thursday of every November, but the No Nut Month actually had 5 Thursdays in 1939.
Oh.
So
Wait,
now
this is
isn't
where
about
it's coming
World War II.
from?
I thought it was going to be. I thought it had something to do with Hitler. It doesn't. When did World War II
What?
end? Chris, put that on the screen. The nation retailers, fresh off the heels of the Great Depression, were concerned that it wouldn't be enough time for shopping, which is all the holidays really are about. And given the dire situation that the nation's economy had been in for the prior decade, the National Retail Dry Goods Association propositioned President Franklin Delano Roosevelt to change the date. And that August, FDR
Damn.
said, Thanksgiving's a week earlier because we gotta get shopping, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, buy that turkey a little bit earlier because we're changing a national holiday so you can spend more money. And everyone loved it. Everyone loved the fact that the government could just change a holiday date for no reason besides shopping. Oh wait, they hated it. There was an uproar and everyone was pissed. Republicans immediately dubbed the new Thanksgiving date Franksgiving,
This
which
looks like
I
a
think we should
monster
still call it
eye.
that, and just down
Am
a
I the only one seeing a monster eye? Look here, in this thing over here. Am I the only one seeing it? I don't know.
billion hot dogs. Turkey. Political opponents of FDR actually said that FDR acted like Hitler by doing this, so I wasn't wrong. Hitler was gonna show up. God damn, I knew it. I could smell him. Which, this was also crazy to say because keep in mind, Hitler was still very much alive at this point, and a New Hampshire senator suggested that moving Thanksgiving...
Wait, when was this? Shotomato kudasai. He mentioned the date somewhere. Okay, I don't know where he mentioned it. There's no date anywhere. No. I mean, there's a date here. 1924. But is it the right one? Special sale promotion. Probably. So, damn.
Which
okay.
I think we should still call it that, and just down a billion hot dogs.
Oh wait, we already saw that.
So I wasn't wrong. Hitler was gonna show up. God,
yeah,
I knew
why?
it. I could smell him. Which, this was also crazy to say
I
because
want him
keep
to
in
show
mind,
up,
Hitler
not on my
was still
streams.
very much alive at this point, and a New Hampshire senator suggested that moving Thanksgiving was so crazy, FDR might as well just cancel winter. So overall, we got some big feelings.
Okay,
about
let's
this day full
cancel
of turkey.
winter. Why
we got
not?
some big feelings about them potatoes and mash. This issue literally divided the country. That year, 23 states celebrated Turkey Day early, 22 celebrated on the 5th Thursday, and Colorado, Mississippi, and Texas celebrated both. Bunch of fat asses you are, Colorado, Mississippi, and Texas. You need them Hawaiian rolls 2 days out of the year. You're ridiculous. The issue actually persisted through 1941, with Franksgiving splitting the country apart and
turkeys are freaking big.
serving as a pretty accurate metaphor for the
How can you eat
awkward
this?
argument families share over Thanksgiving dinner. Finally, in December 1941,
It's like 3 chicken.
Congress passed a law officially making Thanksgiving the 4th Thursday of November. Overall, the moral of the story is Congress can fix everything. God bless Congress, they're so good at their jobs. But while Thanksgiving weekend served as a kickoff for Christmas shopping for nearly a century, the term Black Friday wasn't actually used to describe it until the 1950s. And we have our friendly folks over in Philadelphia to thank for this one. What a garbage city. If you don't know, Philly, which calls itself the city of brotherly love, is full of asshole penis people who suck so much. Case in point, in 1968, Santa Claus came out on the field during a football game and everyone booed him. And they probably threw batteries at him or something. And why did they do this? Well, because their team was winning. And it sounds crazy, but the Eagles were so bad that year that they could have secured themselves the #1 draft pick, who at the time was O.J. Simpson. Just so much fun we're having with history today. But instead, the team started winning, which meant they lost the opportunity to draft OJ, and they decided to take it out on Santa. Anyway, that's just a little taste of holiday spirits in Philadelphia. OJ Simpson and throwing beer bottles at Santa. So it makes sense that cops in the city start referring to the day after Thanksgiving as Black Friday as a way to describe their awful working conditions. Philly's finest were already peeved that they were forced to work instead of spending time with their families, and to top it off, the shift was an absolute struggle. Between the holiday shopping and the slurry of people dropping into the city to watch the annual Army-Navy football game, it was just literally the worst type of people showing up. Not to mention that
Wait, are people getting time off during Black Friday? There's no way. Or? Is it like an actual holiday?
shoplifting and petty theft skyrocketed due to chaotic conditions. Black Friday
I'm not American.
took on
I have no clue,
a life
man.
of its own with local slang, and by the
I ask stupid
1960s,
questions.
several shops used it to promote their sales. However, the negative connotations didn't sit well with the business community at large in Philly, and they tried to change the name to Big Friday. Black Friday? That's a little sad. We'll call it Big Friday. And everyone in Philly said, "F your mother."
Damn.
We're calling it Black Friday, and also I'm going to break a window. Sorry, business daddies. The nickname chooses you. I didn't write that. I don't know who wrote that. Jimmy must have written. That's a sad little sentence. And so Black Friday, as we know it, was born. Thank you, Philly. Thank you, Santa. Thank you, Hitler. By the time the ball dropped
Can we not say that? Can we please not say this?
on the 80s, the term Black Friday had successfully spread from Philly to the entire United States. To make the name seem less gloomy, retailers spun the narrative, insisting black stood for profits, which isn't entirely wrong. In business, if you're in the black, you're in profits, and if you're in the red, you're in the negative. So kinda, it's lame, but it works. The Black and Black Friday was rebranded to mark the point when a store's profit turned positive for the year. Not only did this rebrand totally ignore the Black Friday's history as part of cops being bitches, it isn't even accurate to say that most stores operate at a loss until Christmas. But does
Oh, that, yeah.
cops being bitches, it isn't even accurate to say that most stores operate
Merry Christmas. Happy Padoro Day.
at a loss until Christmas. But does the truth really matter here? You can get 10 toasters for a nickel. Get in there. Plus, at this point of the year, we're talking about virgin births and flying reindeer and roasting chestnuts. No one has ever roasted a chestnut in their life. It's all made up at this
I didn't. Wait.
And flying
What did
reindeer
I?
and roasting chestnuts. No one has ever roasted a chestnut in their life.
I did. I did. They are nice. What do you mean no one? I did. Actually, I did. And I ate them as well. They are pretty good, but I didn't have them in a while.
It's all made up at this point, so why not lie? What's
No, they are good. Stop it.
another little
Stop
white
it.
lie on the pile?
They do exist.
Especially when that pile is making people extremely filthy f***ing rich. The 1980s saw a massive rise in consumerism. During the decade, over 16,000 shopping centers were built, and the crown jewel of all the consumerism was the shopping mall. There were approximately 2,500 malls in America during the Reagan years, and it made sense. As Americans left the city for green lawns of the suburbs, malls became the late 20th century version of the town center. It's like we were building a new capitalism-forward vision for the country. That worked out. I'm so glad we did that. In the mid-70s, 33% of U.S. retail sales occurred in malls or shopping centers. A decade later, the number had grown to 52%. Concentrating the bulk of commerce into one centrally located center made one-stop shopping for holidays a breeze. And as a result, big event days like Black Friday made it very seductive to get shoppers into a building with thousands of stores to shop in, and it's not even 1,000. It's like 10. Why did I lie? And this also led to
it's thousands.
Stores waging retail wars with sales to stand out from one another. You're gonna go to Brookstone to get yourself a backwoods. Hey, come to Yankee Candle. Get a candle for $3. You don't need a bag. You need 20 candles. Come here. Malls were the temple of materialism in the 80s, but the congregation was made up of yuppies. Yuppie is a term that stands for young, professional, upwardly mobile baby boomers.
What did I just see? What the hell is this term? I never in my life did I hear that. Do I sound like a boomer when I say this? I don't know.
Yuppies are just young people with a bunch of money in their pocket, and they were baby boomers. They suck overall. These young baby boomers had lost their hippie ethos after living through the recession, inflation, and high unemployment of the 1970s, and came out the other side ready for the promise of prosperity that the free market and Reaganomics promised. This era gave birth to people like Donald Trump and TV shows like The Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous. Poor people loved looking at rich people. Excess was celebrated, and luxury purchases were an important status symbol. The attitude was so prevalent that Newsweek named 1984 the year of the yuppie. Aspirational purchases became common as credit was passed out like candy. In fact, credit card debt doubled in 1980 to 1985 and then doubled again from 1985 to 1990. And I think it's very important that even nowadays, if you see someone living a luxurious lifestyle on the internet or even in your neighborhood, you're like, how is Tom affording that boat and BMW? They're putting it on their credit card.
Or you can lease it as well, you know, right? If you have enough income, you can just lease it. Like in general, I don't know. I'm a dragon that never use more money than I had in my possession. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, being in debt just doesn't make sense. The only thing where it might make sense is... wait, what's the English term? Housing, you know? Because there are a lot of... I don't know about America, but in Europe, there are a lot of deals where you basically pay off the debt with the bank. But there are specific rules, like if it exceeds, for example, if the value of the plot increases more than 10%, then it counts as your debt is also built by minus 2% basically. So you pay less because if something happens to the plot, it will fully belong to the bank, you know. So it's crazy. It's crazy, and people use this system so much because if you take a credit for $500,000, you know, to build a house and do stuff like this, you are really likely to only pay around 300,000. It's really, 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 really likely. So you save yourself like 200k, and then you buy the next one because now you are in possession of one which could get funded in case you cannot pay the new one that you get. It's an actual real life money hack. It's crazy. So yeah. Yeah. So if I don't know about America because maybe in America it's the same. In America the houses are out of freaking wood. In Europe, they are out of stone. So, in America, you are probably building more houses than in Europe. Because I can only speak for Germany. In Germany, we have tornadoes as well, but they usually don't destroy anything because the moment they hit a wall, they just vanish because they cannot do anything against a brick. It's like a mountain. They hit against it and they're like, oh shoot, I'm losing my balance, and then they vanish. Of course, it always depends on the size, but in Germany they don't get that big. I wanted to mention something else. Ah, yeah, the debt. So, yeah, I never spent more money than I, owned, because why would I do that? Why? I never understand people going into debt in general. Like, why do you spend money you don't have? It makes no sense. It only brings you issues, and if something happens, you are freaked up. No, you cannot do anything anymore.
And they're going to have to pay off debt for the rest of their lives.
Exactly.
Genuinely. Do not try and keep up with these people. They're just indebting themselves. We're all broke. They're lying. I want to put that moral onto you guys. I realized that way too late in life.
Yeah, don't
these
spend
people
more
are just
money
in
than you
enormous
have.
amounts of
Please
debt.
don't.
Speaking of debt, many of these credit purchases revolved around one of Black Friday's most popular sale items,
Christmas
electronics.
gifts,
Between 1980 and 1989, sales of electronic products increased over $150 billion. And it makes sense. It's 1989, baby. Get yourself a personal computer. Type on that bitch. I don't care.
Exactly.
Get yourself a television, a
Get a
stereo
Atari.
system, video game consoles. It's all good, baby. And Black Friday electronic sales is a trend that still happens to this day. Surveys suggest that approximately 75% of all in-store Black Friday shoppers plan to buy electronics. And one of the most common electronics to get a discount during this time is the flat screen TV. It's what I died for.
That is...
Actually, it's kind of redundant to say flat screen TV.
Yeah, I think I already said in the beginning. I talked to someone and he also got a TV. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm guessing any
TV stocks are going brr, brr, brr. Okay. The last one was working, the other one's not. Ignore the other ones.
The old box TV that's still around isn't for sale because it's probably haunted by the ghost of Reagan. Regardless,
What?
Black Friday TV sales are so common that the mentality is in America that you should not buy TV until it's Black Friday because it's stupid to do so otherwise. Retailers report that the average discount on a TV during Black Friday will be 23%. But if everyone is offering so
a lot. TVs are usually like 500 plus, right? So 20%, wait, 10% is 50, 20% is 100. Yeah, you are saving like $100.
such steep discounts, how does a retailer stand out in the crowd? It's not like they're gonna slash their own bottom lines, right? Of course not. Instead, they'll just slash the quality of life and well-being of their employees. I'm talking about a phenomenon called Black Friday creep, which is part of Christmas creep.
what?
The idea that retailers start holiday-themed sales well before the traditional season starts. Massive retailers like Amazon and Walmart offer an entire Black Friday week for some items. Best Buy starts its Black Friday sales a week before Thanksgiving, and Target entire Black Friday week for some items. Best Buy starts
On the 8th? Are you actually insane? There we go. It's a Cyber Monday. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's extending afterwards, and they give it some stupid name. If they don't have a name, they just invent something new.
starts its Black Friday sales a week before Thanksgiving, and Target starts its early Black Friday sale at the beginning of November. The race to the starting line of Christmas shopping got so bad in the early 2000s that employees were getting pissed because you had to work on Thanksgiving. In 2009, Kmart became the first major retailer to start its holiday sale on Thanksgiving, opening their doors at 8 p.m. for early Black Friday shopping, which, just so we're clear, was only 4 hours away from their normal opening hours, which was midnight. So why the f*** are you doing this? But not to be outdone, by 2013, shops like Target, Toys R Us, Walmart, Sears, and Macy's started opening up on Thanksgiving too. But in an insane bit of marketing, instead of calling it Thanksgiving, retailers tried to rebrand it as Gary Thursday.
Why?
Who the f*** is Gary? And imagine being a retailer.
What? It said Gray, not Gary, no? Yeah, Gray Thursday. What do you mean, Gary? There's no Gary mentioned anywhere.
It as Gary Thursday.
It says Gray. What do you mean? Gray. Gray.
Who the f*** is Gary? And imagine being a retail worker. It's like, don't worry, you're not going to go see your family on Thanksgiving. No, today you're going to be working Gary Thursday. Does that sound good to you?
Gray. He says
Gary
Gray.
Thursday was met with widespread opposition
color.
from workers, and the pandemic Christmas season effectively put an end to it. But that hasn't stopped the overall Black Friday creep. Online shopping has enabled retailers to offer digital deals early without the hassle of in-store displays or staffing. Not only does this benefit companies by pushing sales with less overhead, but it also alleviates the sheer number of shoppers in their brick-and-mortar shops on Black Friday. And this was a welcome change change from the Y2K era of Black Friday, which became overcrowded and, in general, extremely dangerous. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the part of the script where I talk about people dying. So grab your popcorn and your true crime headset and let's get into it. Also, I'm wearing a hat now. Don't mention it, my hair was pissing me off. Between 2006 and 2021, at least 17 deaths and more than 100 injuries were tied to Black Friday shopping. For many, the most wonderful time of the year turns bloody in the name of good sales. Good shopping. Which makes me wonder, what limited edition release or outstanding discount would be worth getting harmed? Well, let's find
Okay, he will talk about it. I was about to say something, but it's fine.
out, shall we? It's time to play a little game I like to call Deal or Die.
Oh.
To you by the good people at extratug.com, who are telling me that Extra Tug
Okay,
is only
we are playing
$1 for
our
your
game
first
now.
month this
Good.
Black Friday when you use the code SELLOUT. Now that's a deal worth dying for.
You're doing the same. What do you mean?
Rules are simple, and that was actually real though. If
Okay.
you use code you get $1 for the first month. The rules are
Really?
simple. I'm going to show you a deal, and we're going to decide just how far someone would be willing to go to obtain that deal. What deadly
Okay.
extremes await? Let's find out. In 2011, Walmart offered a 4 gigabyte, which is crazy.
Is this an This is an Xbox. Oh my god. It's a weird take. You can hate me if you want it, but I'm gonna say it. The old Xbox looks better than the current one. It looks better. The controller, the camera, even the camera looks better than most things nowadays.
The Xbox 360 Connect bundle for $199.96.
And the chance to win a $50 Walmart gift card. That's crazy.
Plus a $50 gift card. Keep in mind,
Wait, it's not a chance, it's guaranteed? What?
bundle for $199.96 plus
Damn.
a $50 gift card. Keep in mind that this bundle was sold for anywhere between $250 and $300 at the time. Not only that, but the gift card really sweetened the bundle. That's free money, baby. You could walk out of there with a brand new console and a copy of Halo 3 for basically nothing. So what would you be willing to do to play Connectimals for the first time?
Yeah, I definitely want to play
Survey
it.
says a woman in LA only.
Oh, no. Wait. Shut the matter. Okay. I don't wanna see it. So, what could they have done? How far would people go to play with furries? Well, on Twitter, you already see crazy stuff. So, I will take this as a... as a meter to calculate how far people would possibly go to play with furries. I would say they will probably be able to hurt someone really bad. They will probably hit someone with the console to get it. They might even go further than that. What else could they do? Maybe they will, I don't know, they will fight someone. They will fight them as, they will hit them until the ambulance arrives, something like that.
Would you be willing to do to play Connectimals for the first time? Survey says
what did they do?
a woman in LA unleashed pepper spray on an entire Walmart to keep people away from the console. Luckily, only 20 people were hurt.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Most with only minor injuries related to fleeing the scene of the maniacal discount shopper. But there's a catch. The woman claims she only used pepper spray to protect her own self and children from other maniacal shoppers. So there's just layers of insanity here. We have adults ripping Xboxes out of the arms of children, which also makes me wonder if these kids are picking their own gifts. The 2000s were a nightmare. But the moral of the story is, do not arm mothers during the Christmas season. Everyone's going crazy, mothers most of which, because they gotta put gifts under the tree, and they'll do anything to do that. Alright, our next deal to die for comes to us courtesy of the great nation of Canada. We all know that they're supposed to be nicer in the Great White North, so I'm assuming this is going to be mild at best. But this story is about sneakerheads, so the niceness of Canadians mixed with the assholeness of sneakerheads probably balances out a pretty good bunch. In 2016, the Adidas store in Vancouver hosted a Black Friday drop of a vape sneaker collab called MMDR1 Olive Camo. If you're not
I'm sorry, but this doesn't even look good.
familiar with sneaker world,
I'm pretty sure people like this, but look, what is this? Why do you have a white sole if this is camo? It's stupid. Like, I would wear this when I go into a forest or something, and the sole should be black, not or brown, but not white.
collab called MMDR1 Olive Camo.
Look, it doesn't fit in. It doesn't fit in.
If you're not familiar with Sneaker World or Bape in 2016, this was a huge deal. Mainly because resellers scoop up
$1,000? What do you mean $1,000? I wouldn't spend more than $30 on this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And look, here, last sale, $288. Seems like even if you resell it, you don't even get, you get 30% of the price.
up all of the shoes and sell them on the secondary market for an insane markup. So if you wanted these cool-ass kicks without spending an extra hundreds of dollars on the second-hand market, your best bet was waiting in line and being willing to pay retail. So how wild would hypebeasts go to wear something that you literally step in dog shit with? Well, let's find out. Survey says over 300 people showed up for the drop and the store had no security to oversee the crowd. One customer, who was apparently drunk, became agitated and started throwing punches at others in line. At one point, he decided, like most aggro drunk guys do, to take off his shirt and challenge onlookers to fisticuffs. Eventually, he took his belt off and started swinging it around, using it as a whip to hit others in the crowd. Eventually, the cops were called to disperse the crowd and apprehended the shirtless and beltless Canadian sneakerhead. So congratulations, brother. You did a weird, aggressive striptease.
Yeah,
you have to pay 500% markup for your dumbass shoes, and you're going to spend the night of Christmas in jail.
Congratulations.
Okay, we're not gonna let Canada one-up us on crazy-ass consumerism, are we? Our next prize is a deep discount on a Samsung 50-inch Plasma HD TV. First of all, Samsung, best kind of TV.
Oh my god, wait. You see this? This is how TV looked back then. It was a 4:3 screen. Right now everything is 16 to 19, right? This is 4:3. This was the standard format for TVs back then. Can you believe it? 4:3? It's crazy.
Samsung 50-inch Plasma HD TV. First of all, Samsung, best kind of TV you can buy to this day. So I understand the what's the
really?
word for?
But this is
in 2008, Walmart's Black Friday sale offered this puppy at $798.
Oh, it's
for
another
context,
TV.
plasma
Okay.
screen TVs were top of the line back then, and this model regularly retailed at over $1,000 more than Walmart's sales price. So this was legitimately a great deal, and it had Walmart shoppers champing at the bit. And did you know it's champing at the bit and not chomping at the bit? That's something you learn a little too late in your life. Since 38% of Black Friday shoppers say they're in the market for a TV, a deal like the Samsung 50-incher doesn't last long. So how much plasma are you willing to lose to get this much plasma in your life? This deal brought out residents of Valley Stream, New York in droves. Over 2,000 people waited in line for Walmart's Black Friday to begin, and when a store employee started to open the doors, the impatient crowd surged forward, breaking through the metal barrier and trampling the employee to death. Instead of trying to help him, thousands of customers piled into the store, crawling over one another and the employee. When security and other Walmart workers tried to clear the store because, you know, it was basically the scene of a murder, customers actually complained. The store did close for a few hours, but then opened back up again once they got the dead body out of there. But I don't know, that's a good deal on a TV. I can't talk. So that's f***ing crazy. Someone actually died, and an employee nonetheless. So now it's time for our final round of Deal or Die. And surprise, surprise, this takes place at another Walmart in Reno, Nevada in 2016. Now the thing you have to understand is there were over 61 million in-store Black Friday shoppers that year. And you know, there are only so many spaces in a Black Friday parking lot. The spaces at this Walmart were hard to come by, and the cars people drive are gigantic. So this altercation
it's America.
Wasn't over a flat screen or, like I said, one of those dumb ninja products. It was over a parking spot. I mean, to keep in mind, there was an actual deal going on. Walmart had a killer deal on the DJI Phantom 3
Bro.
This puppy was marked down from $499 to $369, so that's wild savings. So what
it's a good deal, but it's not worth it.
You do for a parking spot to get into a store that had a drone off for 26%. This one seems like it wasn't worth it. A driver was accidentally cut off in a parking lot, so he got out of his vehicle and attacked the other driver with a metal rod. The driver
what the hell?
Who was getting his face smashed in, grabbed a gun from his car and fired through the window, killing the attacker.
What the hell? For a drone? For $120? He killed someone over $120 saving. Are you actually crazy?
Shooter, fled the scene and claimed he feared for his life. And I don't...
Yeah, sure. Well, maybe they can use the drone to find him.
him. So just to be clear, if you're ever in Reno, Nevada, just know that the Walmart parking lots there are ruled by Wild Wild West law. Just start shooting if you don't get a parking spot. But you know what the worst part of Deal or Die is? It's usually not worth the deal nowadays. With its dark roots in labor exploitation, aspirational consumerism, and violence, many Black Friday sales aren't even valued. All too often, stores jack up the price of an item right before the holiday just so they can offer a bigger discount on it without actually losing money. Last year, the $20 Amazon stick was raised by $20 the day before Black Friday.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
And then sold at a 50% discount. How are we falling for this shit? And some Black Friday sales aren't actually discounts. They're either pre-existing sales rebranded or they're just listed as sales for the hell of it. A study
Save $80.
found that approximately 41 of Black Friday items offer no real savings compared to their usual prices.
Yeah, but people see it and are like, oh, that's a great deal. It's Black Friday. I need to buy it now.
Imagine getting whipped in the face with a belt, hit with a metal pipe, or shot in the chest just because you're trying to buy a drone for a regular retail price. That's the kind of behavior that will never get you into heaven. I know. I did a skit about it. But whether it's online or in-store on Grey Thursday, Black Friday, or Cyber Monday, you're gonna spend some serious money this holiday season. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna go on some spiel about the true meaning of Christmas. I want gifts, I like candy, and if I don't have good enough gifts under the Christmas tree, I act like that little bitch in Harry Potter. 45? Is it 45 or 40? I don't remember the number.
I don't know the name, I'm sorry.
What's his name? Trevor? No.
What?
I don't know, whatever. I just want you to know
I
that
don't even know
every
what
gift
this
you
is.
unwrapped during the season of giving was paid by the blood of the proletariat and ghosts of Black Friday past. Let me know what discounts you've seen in the past where you would go Wild Wild West in a Reno parking lot in order to obtain that sweet, sweet deal. Because let's face it, everybody has a price. New videos every Saturday and sometimes Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe, and extratug.com. Check it out. Like I said, that Black Friday deal, I think that's real.
Damn.
Might not be real. If it's not real, I feel really bad. But if you use discount code SELLOUT, you get your first month for $1. So all those people who are saying I can't afford Extra Tug, that's fine. Just do it for 1 month, or if you like it, stick around. But it's $1. Go outside and find $1. You can find $1. Thank
Probably
you for
not.
Extra Tug. That's on the screen right
I never
That's
found
what you
$1.
get. You name at the end of the video. You get a new video every month.
I don't know.
4 videos every month, and they're all crazy googly goo stuff. And sometimes I, talk to you guys directly. That sounds like it's such a big deal, but like I answer comments and it's pretty fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't die this holiday season, and I'll keep wishing for you. Keep praying for you. God bless Jesus. All right, have a good one.
Nice. Thank you for the video. Oh, thanks for the video. Yeah, this was Big Talk. He already spoiled us a little bit about the next video we're gonna watch. But that's fine. Everything is fine. He can spoil us a bit. Because the next video is the untold story of Black Friday. How it began and why it follows Thanksgiving. We didn't went that deep into the lore, I hope. Some things might repeat, but hopefully not that much. And yeah, the next video is from History of Simple Things. A really nice channel actually for, short documentary or short, if you want some free extra knowledge, which doesn't take like an hour to comprehend. This is a nice channel to check out. And yeah, we're gonna check what's going on with Black Friday over there. And I don't know, I have nothing to say. Let's get right into the video. What is this intro?
Imagine a single day when millions of people swarm stores, hunting for the best deals of the year. That's Black Friday, a shopping phenomenon that has become synonymous with massive sales, long lines, and even the occasional shopping frenzy. But how did we get here? What's the story behind Black Friday? And why does it always come right after Thanksgiving? Let's dive into the surprising origins and evolution of this mega shopping day. Welcome to the History of Simple Things, where we delve into the fascinating history behind the little things that shape our world.
Disclaimer, our team uses the internet and AI research tool to create this video. However, inadvertent errors and or omissions may still exist. The following video is for entertainment purpose only. Let's go.
Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving in the United States, marking the unofficial start of the holiday shopping season.
Yes.
Retailers offer huge discounts on products,
Here we go again.
and shoppers flock to stores, both physical...
Hey, this is not even the US. Caixa. This is either Brazil or Portugal. Can I see something? I was living in Portugal. Maybe I can see some hint. I mean, I know the tech stores there, so... But I think... It's Brazil.
And online to snag the best deals.
Might be Brazil.
Over the years, it has become more than just a shopping day. It's a cultural event. People plan their purchases weeks in advance. Some even camp outside stores to be the first inside when the doors open.
Yeah, people are going freaking crazy.
But while today, it's all about sales and profits, the term Black Friday didn't originally have a cheerful meaning. Its roots lie in chaos and economic struggles, not doorbuster deals. To understand its transformation, we have to go back in time.
Let's go back in time. Which year are we going to?
The history of Black Friday is a tale of two distinct evolutions, one tied to the financial world and the other to retail.
Okay.
The term Black Friday was first used in the 19th century, but it had nothing to do with shopping. Instead, it referred to a financial crisis.
Yeah,
on September 24th, 1869,
okay.
two speculators, Jay Gould and James Fisk, tried to manipulate the U.S. gold market. Their scheme collapsed, causing the stock market to crash. This day of financial ruin was dubbed Black Friday because of its devastating impact.
Yes.
Fast forward nearly a century to the 1950s, and we see the term being used in a completely different context. In Philadelphia, the Friday after Thanksgiving became notorious for its chaotic crowds. People flooded the city for two reasons: to shop and to attend the annual Army-Navy football game held that weekend.
Okay.
The surge in visitors overwhelmed the city's police force, leading to traffic jams, increased shoplifting, and overworked officers. Local law enforcement began referring to the day as Black Friday due to the headache it caused them. Retailers weren't too fond of the negative connotation, but they saw an opportunity. By the 1980s, they had successfully rebranded Black...
Wait, it took so long? It took them 30 years? I thought it happened like within a few years. It took them 30 years to rebrand. Damn.
Black Friday as a positive shopping event. They spun the narrative, saying it was the day their businesses moved into the black, meaning they became profitable for the year. This clever marketing move helped reshape Black Friday into the commercial juggernaut we know today.
Yes. Okay, interesting.
To understand why Black Friday follows Thanksgiving, we have to look at the broader cultural and economic trends in the United States. Thanksgiving has long been a day of gratitude, family gatherings, and of course, feasting. But by the mid-20th century, it also became the perfect precursor to holiday shopping.
Yeah.
Retailers noticed that people were already in a festive mood after Thanksgiving.
That's true. You're meeting
Christmas
with family,
just around the corner, many families began planning their
Christmas.
holiday gift purchases. Yes. The Friday after Thanksgiving naturally became a convenient day for shopping. For those lucky enough to have the day off.
True, because if you are going to visit your family for Thanksgiving, right, then you are already traveling anyway, and then maybe on the way back you are like, oh, my family was talking about this thing at the dinner table, so maybe I can get this as a gift. That way you don't forget it, because if you have the Christmas sales, which are like weeks after, then obviously you might be like, oh, I don't know if I need this. Okay.
It was an ideal time to head to stores and kickstart their holiday preparations. Another factor was the growing importance of the Christmas shopping season to the economy. Retailers wanted to maximize sales in the weeks leading up to Christmas, and Black Friday became the launchpad for this critical period. Over time, it solidified its place as the unofficial start of holiday shopping. In the late 20th century, Black Friday began to evolve into the frenzy we know today.
Okay, what happened?
Retailers started opening their doors earlier and offering limited-time deals to draw in massive crowds.
We saw that.
Shoppers, eager to snag bargains, responded enthusiastically. By the 2000s, some stores began opening as early as midnight, blurring the lines between Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
What the frick?
But with this popularity came some darker moments. Stories of shoppers trampling each other or fighting over discounted items began to surface.
This is so stupid, by the way.
Videos of chaotic store openings became infamous. painting a stark picture of consumerism at its extreme.
Like, I don't know. I seriously don't get it. Just the first person who gets it gets it. You don't have to run. You don't. Why are you even running? Like, to get it, yeah, but I don't know. I think it's so stupid because if you don't get it there, maybe you find it somewhere else. Maybe you even find it cheaper somewhere else, you know?
Despite this, the allure of Black Friday remained strong.
Yeah.
The advent of online shopping further transformed Black Friday. In the 2010s, e-commerce giants like Amazon started offering online-only deals, allowing people to shop.
But Amazon was not doing so much shopping in the 2010s, right? Like later, yes, but in the early, I think Amazon was a bookstore in the beginning, no? I think they were selling books. I'm pretty sure about that.
From the comfort of
Wait. Let me check. Amazon books founding. Maybe they have images. Oh wait, the AI will probably also tell us about it. Well, 19. What? It's that old? I thought it was way later. What? What? Wait, there's no image of the old website. Amazon old website. I cannot type, I'm sorry. Should matter. I'm gonna show you. Oh, there. You see this? Yeah. Welcome to Amazon.com. Books. And then you have the spotlight. This is how Amazon looked like back then. It's crazy, right? What is this? Oh, this is the history, how it changed. Yeah. Did you know that Amazon was originally selling only books?
Of their homes. This gave rise to Cyber Monday, the Monday after Black Friday, which focused on digital deals. Together, these events have turned the entire post-Thanksgiving weekend into a shopping marathon.
It's crazy.
While Black Friday started in the United States, its popularity has spread globally. Countries like Canada, the UK, Australia, and even Brazil have adopted their versions of Black Friday. Retailers in these countries recognize...
different in each country? Is it different in each country? I don't think so, no? I think everyone has kind of the same idea of Black Friday nowadays. Or is there still differences? How is Black Friday in your country? If you are watching, if you're still watching, feel free to leave a comment and let me know how Black Friday is in your country. Because here in Europe / Germany, it's not crazy like in the US. Or at least I never saw people storming into the store. People are, you know, they're going in. And most of them are not even there at the opening hours. Of course, there are people who are going in at the opening hours when it opens. Who are going fast, but they are not running and going crazy. They are just walking fast and waiting. If someone is at the product, they are waiting in a line, you know. Or at least that's my experience. And yeah, I don't know. Like, people are usually quite modest about everything. So yeah.
Recognize the appeal of offering big discounts, especially as...
But yeah, overall it's the same, like everywhere. Like, you have discounts and yeah.
Online shopping made international deals more accessible. Interestingly, in some countries, Black Friday is celebrated without Thanksgiving. It's purely about the sales, proving how powerful the concept has become as a marketing tool.
What the hell?
Black Friday isn't just about shopping. It reflects deeper cultural and economic trends.
I love the stock footage.
It highlights the significance of consumerism in modern society, the lengths businesses will go to attract customers, and the ways people are willing to adapt their routines for a good deal. For some, Black Friday is a family tradition, with relatives planning their shopping routes together.
Is it?
For others, it's a source of frustration, representing the excesses of capitalism. Regardless of where you stand, there's no denying its impact.
I don't know, my dude.
Black Friday has come a long way from its origins as a chaotic day in Philadelphia. It's a fascinating example of how a single day can evolve into a global phenomenon, driven by economic forces, cultural shifts, and clever marketing. Whether you love it, hate it, or simply tolerate it, Black Friday is here to stay, at least for now. So the next time you find yourself eyeing a Black Friday
deal, not a holiday, right?
Take a moment to think about the history behind it.
I'm still wondering about.
It's not just about discounts. It's a reflection of how deeply shopping is woven into the fabric of our lives.
Damn, this was deep. The last
Thank you
one.
for watching. If you have suggestions for our next...
Thank you for the video. But yeah, I don't know. Like, we haven't done so much new things. Partially because it was already explained. But I don't know. Is Black Friday different in each country? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, maybe in the way it's being preserved. You know, in the US maybe people are going completely crazy, but here it's not so crazy in Europe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just at the wrong places as well. I don't know. But yeah, nice video from History of Simple Things. Now we have one last video, which is really long actually. It's going 1.5 hours. I will try my best to not pause, you know, so that we can, how do I say, we can watch it in moderation and not end up streaming another 3 hours. Yeah, the last video for today is called Our Consumer Society. So now we are checking on the consumption of things, because this is kind of going with Black Friday as well. We are learning a little bit about how consumption works, or the society evolves, I believe. That would be my guess. And yeah, it's from then and now. I don't know. Let's get into it. We already see a lot of wallpapers in the back, ads in the backgrounds. What do we have then? We have Cinderella. We have movies. Wait, those are all movies, no? Yeah. Well, and in the background you can see Xbox.
We live in a consumer society.
Yes.
Our lives revolve around shops, supermarkets, new experiences, new stuff.
We're in the midst of
everything
one of the
new.
busiest shopping weekends of the year.
Well, the notion of the conscious consumer has certainly gained traction.
The textile industry in Leicester has been under investigation.
A world surrounded.
Yep. That's why Komoripi is only having oh my god, I can't speak. Sustainable products in the shop. The reason why it's taking so long, everything, is also because of US tariffs. It's pretty much on the way. I haven't published any changes to the website yet, but I made some changes, and the products will change and stuff like this, but it's fine. But yeah, everything, once the shop is launching, I will probably let you know on Twitter or somewhere. But yeah, everything is sustainable, only sustainable products, and everything is having a certificate as well. Like, you know, you will know where it comes from, what certificate it has, what the certificate means, and yeah. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to make so much ads about it right now because it's work in progress, you know. Yeah. Let's continue.
Surrounded by image, advertising, marketing,
anime.
Nation.
A world surrounded
I saw
by
that.
image, advertising.
Oh, we are in freaking Tokyo. Or are we? Yeah. What does it say? Manga. Wait, this is Akihabara, no? Is it Akihabara? What's going on here? We have anime game. Wait, I saw ads for this game as well. For this anime as well. Is it worth this one in above the comics? Then is it worth it? I don't know. And then we have a maid cafe. Wait, we are in Akihabara. It says this right there. AKB. Damn.
marketing, one-day delivery, product placement, gadgets, and fast fashion.
Yeah.
We are supposed to...
I hate fast fashion so much. I'm sorry that I have to say it, but I hate it so much. I hate that people are going on, I don't know, Shein or something, buy 40 freaking dresses, and then after a year they do the same again. You know, I'm not a fan of it. Like, as a long living dragon, I have my five, 6 pieces of clothing. You know, pieces of clothing, yeah, like different, like sets of clothing. Let's say it like this. Like I have a shirt and then the pants for it, and this is more than enough. Like you wear some, then you put it in the washer, and then you wear it again. You know, it's fine like that. I don't need more. Why do I need so many?
Shallow, obsessed with the self, narcissistic, and
Damn.
vain.
Hey.
Building personal castles of consumption on the foundations of things we don't really need.
That is true.
But is
Wait, which
Of
city was
things
that?
we don't really
I think
need.
I know the city. Oh, it's London. It's fine. Everything is fine. It looked like my hometown for a second, so I was like, "Wait, I know this thing," but it's London. Okay, never mind.
But is this true? In some sense, of
Wait, hometown, like the city where I was for a long time.
course, we've always consumed. And while we now do consume the latest frivolous fashion and want the latest pointless
Why did they zoom it out like that? Why?
gadget, we also consume meaningful things, new foods and books, travel and art.
So,
Yeah.
consumerism is a broad and a vague concept. From the Latin consumer, it used to mean to use up and was limited to things like candles, food, drink, and wood.
Yeah, essentials.
Things that you would literally consume would
Yes.
disappear.
Damn.
But it
I hate to see this. When I was flying above Athens, you need to go to like cities that are, you know, close to the sea or the ocean. The amount of plastic you see in the water is insane. When I flew to Athens, I was like, what the frick? There's freaking plastic everywhere. Like, you are flying above the water and I'm like, there's a bottle, there are 10 bottles, there are 10 bottles, and they are freaking everywhere. It's crazy.
It's obvious that throughout the modern period, and increasingly from the 1950s,
Save time, save
something
money.
new has happened. A consumer revolution, maybe.
Yes.
Consumption expanded across the classes.
What was
It
that?
began to dominate
Oh, Atari.
all of our lives. At some point, we transformed into a consumer society.
Yes.
The consumer society is different from previous forms of consumption. We have a wider variety of goods, shops and services. We have more pervasive marketing. Everything is commercialized and exchanged. And consumerism has become not just about producing new goods, but has
That is
become
true.
a cultural phenomenon.
Freaking ninja. Wait, when was this? From when is this video? It's from 3 years, probably 4 years almost. Yeah, okay. 2022. Damn. I was like, wait, what?
In his classic 1993 book, Land of Desire, historian William Leach says that, quote, the cardinal features of this culture were acquisition and consumption as the means of achieving happiness. The cult
Is
of
it?
the new.
I don't know. You cannot buy happiness. Well, it depends. When it depends. Usually, food is happiness, right? When you eat something, it's good. Then your body is happy.
Democratization of desire and money value as the predominant measure of all value in society. And historian Peter Stearns defines consumerism as, quote, a society in which many people formulate their goals in life partly through acquiring goods that they clearly do not need for subsistence or
like paintings
for traditional display.
So today, I want to explore our consumer world, that landscape.
You have freaking 4 bags next to you. What do you mean?
Of desire. What does consumerism mean? Is it even a useful concept? Is the West, are we, shallow?
I wouldn't even limit it to the West. I mean, China has the same thing, no? I mean, that's why they have things like Shein. Their own people are using it as well. So, yeah.
Does consumerism make us ill?
Did you ever went to Shanghai or something like that? The amount of ads you see is insane. They even put it on buildings where people are living. It's crazy.
Does it alienate us from our true selves? What does it mean to be surrounded by image, by advertising, by celebrity? Is there any possibility of ethical consumption? Is there any way out?
That's a good question.
Mighty ocean, people also represent a tremendous force, the understanding of which is of greatest importance to the American
The
way of
iPhone
life.
7. How many do we have of them now? 14, 15?
This
Probably
force
more.
is known as consumer power.
Sorry, I'm not a iPhone user. I don't know how many are
To fully
there.
understand the
What the dog doing?
function of outdoor advertising in modern living, it is necessary to keep in mind the day-by-day activities of the people who are reached by this powerful
Damn,
form of
okay.
advertising media.
Flashbang me.
They work, they play, they study, and most important of all, they buy.
Damn.
First,
Wait, those are the same bags from before.
We need to look at the history of how consumerism developed, what we might have lost, and when and why this change happened, to really understand what our consumer society is.
A history of stuff. Okay.
Modern consumerism, as we understand it today, began to develop in the city-states of Renaissance Italy in the 15th century. Trade between the Far East, Middle East and Europe increased.
What's that? Florencia.
Merchants became wealthier and disposable income became more common. Artisans and shopkeepers traded in...
What was going on over there? Wait.
Became more common.
Did you see that?
Artisans and shop...
What are they doing? You see this on the left? One guy is carrying the other one and the child is freaking celebrating it. What the heck? And what's this over there? Is someone getting executed in the middle? What is happening on this picture? What is this? There are dogs as well running around.
Keepers traded in
crazy things
and
happening.
collected increasing numbers of
Crazy
household
things.
wares like jars, bowls, plates, cutlery and...
What is happening to my man in the middle? Is he okay? Is he okay?
textiles like clothes or curtains. Carvings and tapestries and art became more elaborate and more widespread. But the new economics of consumption, the newfound wealth of merchants exploring the globe, developed alongside an already existing moral economy in Italy that questioned consumerism's benefits and sought to moderate its excesses.
Are we full time in Italy? Florencia is also from Italy now, right? In Italy. Not from.
Aristotle, whose works became more widely read during the Renaissance, had argued that the displaying of wealth should be done virtuously.
Really?
A wealthy man, he said, to be admired, should contribute to public works and communal feasts.
Wait, Is this why people started putting gold in freaking churches and stuff? To show how strong they are, how wealthy they are to the people? Is this the reason? There's no way, right? I don't know.
Brash, undirected luxury was immoral. It had no social use. For Plato, too, luxury led to laziness, corruption, and an inward drive for ever-increasing selfish desires.
That
the
is
ancient
true.
Stoics also rejected the idea of becoming attached to anything material and fleeting, identifying with and becoming attached to an external world.
Does he have a tattoo of pie on his freaking knees?
Outside of your control.
Do you see that?
Would only lead to
He said having a tattoo of pie.
when those attachments were challenged, perished, or were taken away. The ancient
Athens.
Greeks, for the most part, had emphasized an inner, virtuous life.
Yes.
The Christian Church, which of course had
The
a strong
Vatican.
presence in Renaissance Italy, adopted the values of these ancient Greek philosophies. And so many in places like Florence, Venice, and Milan were skeptical of this new commercial culture. The newly wealthy merchants had to ensure that their possessions were consistent with the conservative sensibilities of the time. In 1497, for example, one friar started a bonfire of vanity.
Ayo? What's going on with this guy over there? Okay. We listen and we don't judge, I suppose. What the hell?
In the middle of Florence.
Do what you
Board games,
must do, I guess.
instruments, Cosmetics, clothes, and tapestries.
Do
anything
what you
that
must
could
do.
tempt one into sin were all burned as citizens danced around the bonfire.
Damn!
Venetians passed laws trying to regulate luxury, taxing spending at weddings and prohibiting certain dress styles, and tapestries more than a certain length. As
That is
commerce
crazy.
thrived across Europe, other European states followed. In England, for example, wearing purple silk and gold was restricted.
Yeah, in case you don't know, purple was the most rare color you could have worn. Like anything, red is the crazy thing, you know, to show you are a rich person, like those over here. But purple is even crazier. Like, okay, so for comparison, red is what a king would wear, but purple is what an emperor would wear. That's the amount of craziness it's getting. Like the king of the king would wear purple.
To royals. In London in 1574, a tailor was sent to prison for wearing, quote, a pair of hose lined with taffety and a shirt edged with silver,
Damn.
contrary to the ordinances.
He's a rich man.
While in much of Asia, the Buddhist tradition, much like the Stoics, rejected the idea of attachment with possessions, with the external world.
Yeah. And then what happened? Wait, what's this? We're going to Australia?
It was only in the 18th century that these attitudes began to change.
Oh.
As global trade increased, people
South America.
began collecting new and unique candlesticks, exotic linens and
Why are we taking something from a horror movie?
textiles, spices, tankards, bird cages, porcelain, stockings, pipes and soaps. A
Soap.
taste for new foods
I
and
like
drinks
soap.
made cheaper.
Did you know? Should I tell you this? Some people might never buy soap again. Did you know that this soap, like on the screen, is being... Wait, what's the English term? It's being made from the feet of horses. Seife... English. What does it... Ah, wait. Hufe. English. Hooves. Ah. Horse. Hooves. soap. I'm gonna show you. Look. Look. The term typically refers to products designed for cleaning a horse hoof. No, it's not. It's not. No. Horse. Okay. Soap by. There we go. Okay. Now. From. God damn it. Okay. Tell me. The idea that modern soap is made from horse hooves is a myth. What? This is a lie. This is a lie. I learned about it in school. In school. They taught me this in school. While horse byproducts such as hooves were historically used to produce gelatin and glue, these materials are not used in contemporary soap manufacture. Yeah, but I learned about this in freaking school. There are even pictures here. What do you mean? Wait, where are the pictures? I'm 100% sure. I learned this in freaking school. I learned it in school that they were making it from cows and freaking horse hooves, because you know it's material that sticks, and then you put like a scent on it, and that way you can wash it your hands, because it's like stones. If it's together, you know, it's like stones, just that it goes smaller and it goes back into the water. Am I stupid? Have I been freaking lied to my entire life? Okay, I'm in shock.
And more abundant by the Atlantic slave trade increased, and consumers became
I have been lied to
coffee,
my entire life.
Tea, chocolate, and especially sugar. Cotton from plants instead of animals, again made cheaper with
sugar was
slave
so
labor,
expensive,
became
like
more affordable.
300 years ago.
Dyes better, and suddenly clothes became more colourful, more varied, more abundant.
Yes.
All of this coincided with the development of modern marketing, advertising, and salesmanship as merchants sought new ways to promote new goods. English pottery maker Josiah Wedgwood, central to the Industrial Revolution, invented the modern salesman in the 18th century.
Nice.
As the historian
is it nice?
writes, Wedgwood used inertia selling campaigns, product differentiation, market segmentation, detailed market research, embryonic self-service schemes, money back if not satisfied policies, free carriage, giveaway sales promotions, auctions, lotteries, catalogues, advanced credit, 3-tier discount schemes, including major discounts for first orders, and almost every form of advertisement, trade cards, shop signs, letterheads, billheads, newspaper and magazine advertisements, fashion plates and fashion magazines, solicited puffs, organised propaganda campaigns, even false attacks organised
What's going on?
Opportunity to publicise the counterattack.
Okay, everything. Let's just say everything.
Century, consumerism continued.
My goodness.
The home. In Britain, a new trend, wallpaper, led to sales going through the roof. Art and photography, miniature replicas of statues and ornaments all became cheaper to reproduce and manufacture, and so became more popular. Clocks and watches were suddenly everywhere. Then the glass window was invented. Shop windows, glass cabinets and displays created a new relationship between the consumer good and the consumer. Perhaps
you can watch it
more than any other
How would
medium,
it look like
the
on
historian
you?
J.W. Longstrom writes, glass democratized desire even as it democratized access to goods. And in the 20th century, DIY, tools, commercial music, radio, cinema, television, technology and gadgets and computers supercharged the consumer revolution. McDonald's opened its doors in 1955.
Who is that?
Credit cards were introduced in 1958. Comic books and
McDonald's? This is McDonald's?
Introduced in 1958.
McDonald's hamburgers. Damn.
Comic books in Hollywood, Microsoft and Apple took over the world. Supermarkets and shopping malls sprang up and governments invested in highways to connect them. In 1946, there were just 8 suburban shopping centres in the US. 14 years later, in 1960,
Harris
there
and
were
Frank.
almost 4,000. These new cathedrals of commerce epitomised
Do you
the
know
shift in
any
culture.
of those shops?
Famed architect Victor Gruen designed the largest shopping mall in the world in Detroit in 1952. It had hundreds of stores, private roads, a power plant, a police force, a water system, and was designed as a self-contained city. Gruen's next project in Minnesota was more
I heard
ambitious.
that there are so many malls in the US that are completely empty by now.
Organizing of stock, the wires and pipes were accessed from the back.
Am I being scammed again, like with the horse hooves?
So that everything appeared on the shelves as if by magic. Gruen believed that these new developments could be the hearts of the new suburban communities that were springing up everywhere, that were in desperate need of a kind of spiritual, communal core. Later in life, though, he became appalled at how they turned out. He wrote that instead of providing the need, place and opportunity for participation in modern community life that the ancient Greek agora, the medieval market and place, and our town squares provided in the past, they become bastard.
Back then, yeah, squares. Back then, I mean back then, but I don't know if it's common, but when I flew into other countries at some point, I saw, especially in the past, a lot had, you know, they had a mall, but then they also had like a mini, really small theme park like this with like, you know, with some things where you can go as well. And I don't see this at all nowadays. Like, why? What happened? Like, this was so much fun. You know, like having like a shopping mall, you are buying new things, and then afterwards you can send, I don't know, your child to those things. It's like a win-win. And people can also hang out at the mall while not having to shop there, you know. They don't even have to shop. They are just hanging out there to have fun, and then they might be more inclined to go to the mall afterwards. Why did they stop doing that? Is it... I don't know. I think it's a smart move to have it all year long as well, you know.
As provided in the past, they become bastard developments. Gruen retired to Vienna, becoming a science fiction writer, commenting on the environmental destruction our new suburban culture.
Look, it's Bunny Girl Senpai.
So while consumerism developed over centuries, the post-war consumer revolution, the one we're all a product of and living in really right now, was a fundamental break from the past. Mass consumption became national, international. Advertising pervaded every living room through radio and television and then the internet. Disposable income increased for many. Rock and roll, birth control, and then the swinging 60s made hedonism and the enjoyment of new desires respectable. But if consumerism...
Okay, I see now. So this is why Black Friday took so long. If I remember correctly, in the 50s, you know, you had the change of it swifting to something positive. So then it took another 10 years to put consumerism, you know, capitalism, I don't know, make the people more consuming. And then another 20 years to develop this consumption into, you know, shopping sales and stuff like this, probably. Is this what happens? What happened? Happened?
Is so broad, so vague, so far-reaching. What really does a consumer society even mean?
Let's find out. Shopping for definitions. Sorry. Okay. What is this? UK?
Okay, so we've looked at some history. What about the culture, the psychology, the sociology, the philosophy of consumerism?
There's clearly not one single consumerism though. We consume everything from food to music to essential oils to new package experiences. Is it all just
What do you use
hedonistic?
essential oils for?
No,
Just
clearly not.
asking, you know.
We consume books and audiobooks and online lectures. We consume healthy foods we don't necessarily enjoy sometimes. We use gadgets like sports watches that we don't necessarily get simple pleasure or enjoyment from.
And I have to be honest, I don't have I have a watch, but I never use it because I have my phone. Why would I look on my hand to see the time if I have my phone in my freaking pocket? Like, I don't know, man.
But consumerism is even more complicated than this.
Really?
It's not just stuff. It's a cultural activity, a subject.
It's open.
Certain attitude
Damn.
towards the world. We have to
Did you see
remember
that?
going shopping and being a consumer is
car.
a historical cultural activity that has values, norms, outlooks. It's done in different ways depending on the person, the place, the historical period. It's not just the act of purchasing and consumption, it's the perspectives, the specific activities that go with it, the marketing and the wider relationships and interactions too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Consumer groups and cooperatives and political parties and pressure groups and lobbies all developed throughout the 19th century. Consumers
But how?
organised. There are book genres and discourses about shopping conscientiously. Consumer groups lobby the states for rights and consumer protections.
Okay.
So apart from the obvious, an increase in global trade.
So basically it increased because shopping became easier and safer, right? It became more accessible. This is how I understood it so far. That's why it started rising.
The Black Death played a huge role, by the way. So many died that the people that survived were better off financially and had more disposable income to go around. Apart from all of this kind of stuff, can we identify any cultural and social and psychological dynamics that might help us understand consumerism today? I think there are two that provide a good route into the psychology and the sociology. They are the production of new desires and social mimicry.
Okay, let me be your fantasy. I'm your fantasy, am I? And let me turn off the heater. One second. Okay, I'm back. The heater is now off. And we can continue. Let me be your fantasy. Am I your fantasy? Okay, let's see what's going on here. What's going on? This intro is so long.
Some objects, some consumer goods, fulfill a simple, natural, biological need. We eat to satiate ourselves.
Yes.
We buy a bed to sleep on.
Yes.
A home to protect us from the elements.
Yes.
But we're not just a needs species. We go beyond our simple needs. We create new desires, new ways of being in the
like
world.
becoming a VTuber or watching a VTuber.
Have a desire for the new, but really understanding what that means, what it could mean, has only developed over the past few hundred years.
Damn.
You can see this shift in what desire means across the 19th century. Sociologist Colin Campbell argues, for example, that Romanticism, that hugely influential pan-European movement that emphasised feelings, sentiments, emotions, novel experiences and adventure and creativity was an important part of the development of a consumerist outlook.
What the hell is happening over here?
The consumer withdraws from reality as fast as he
doing
encounters it, ever casting his daydreams forward in time, attaching them to objects of desire, and then subsequently
they're being murdered
from these objects as and when they are attained and experienced.
This is Germany! This is Germany! I know this. This is Germany.
As modernity developed and we were unshackled from the circularity of traditional life, of the same routines every day, every month, every year, we began to want to collect something new, experiences. Oscar Wilde satirized this idea of new experiences in his 1891 The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Okay.
Gray exchanges his soul for everlasting.
Yeah, it's Gray, not Gary.
Youth, so that he can live endlessly as a hedonist.
Wait,
Rachel Balby writes that Gray exchanges his moral self for the unbound liberty of the new hedonist. There's no limit to the number of personalities he can adopt, to the experiences he can try. The modern world created adventurers, explorers, dandies and flaneurs, moving through the streets, through the countryside, moving through the world, just to collate and to understand the new. Already in 1655...
Wait, this is Berlin! This is Berlin! We are in Germany again!
Philosopher and scientist Robert Boyle had written that while other creatures were content with easily attainable necessaries, humans had a multiplicity of desires and greedy appetites. In 1741's Fable of the Bees, Bernard Mandeville had argued against the received wisdom of Christianity, the ancient Greeks and the Romans, that private vice and selfish individual desire were simply pernicious. Instead, he said, they were socially useful. They created more trade, more commerce, and in the end made everyone better off.
Union.
Scottish Enlightenment philosopher David Hume agreed to an extent, writing that indolent luxury was still pernicious, but that an increase and consumption of all the commodities which serve to the ornament and pleasures of life are advantages to society.
Interesting. Oh, we are in Europe again. Can you believe it? This is Paris. Where is this? Is this also Paris? Yeah, no, it's probably Paris. Is it? Yeah, nah, this is Paris. 100%.
When Wilde was writing in the 19th century, Paris was becoming an international hotspot for new department stores, placing a universe of exotic goods on display. In his book The Lady's Paradise, author Emile Zola wrote about the allure of the new stores. He called them altars, a miracle, a machine, and that mad desires were driving all the women crazy.
Really?
Other Parisians and critics talked about a new type of person, the flaneur, the everyday person strolling aimlessly around the Parisian arcades, just taking it all in, experiencing as much as possible. And at the beginning of the 20th century, as Henry Ford popularized a new method of standardized mass production, capitalists and then advertising executives on Madison Avenue wondered how new desires could be maintained, created from thin air. The father of public relations and Freud's nephew, Edward Bernays, wrote that mass production is profitable only if its rhythm can be maintained. Business cannot afford to wait until the public asks for its product. It must maintain constant touch through advertising and propaganda to ensure itself the continuous demand which alone will make its costly plans profitable. Freud himself became central to the new advertising industry. Ad men drew on his theories of sexual desire, oral gratification, and the pleasure principle to sell new brands, new products. The psychologist of
Did this guy just threw against the Coca-Cola
new
sign?
Brands, new
yeah,
products.
look on the right. Yeah, they're throwing against Coca-Cola. They really don't like Coca-Cola. Damn.
The psychologist
reasonable response, by the way.
Ernest Dichter famously recommended to his colleagues, don't sell shoes, sell lovely feet. The shift was that the consumerism and marketing that was developing wasn't about needs. It was about new fantasies, new lives, becoming a new and different person.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the present. It was about the future.
The
bank Lehman Brothers, Paul Mazur, wrote that we must shift America from a needs to a desires culture. People must be trained to desire, to want new things even before the old had been entirely consumed. We must shape a new mentality in America. Man's desires must overshadow his needs. Some of these new desires, new dreams, new visions were practical. The washing machine freeing up some of the housewife's time.
Yeah,
the automobile,
I mean, it's still a hot thing today.
But others were
really
criticised as luxuries, sports cars, and endless new fashions. Retail analyst Victor Labau wrote in 1955, "Our enormously productive economy demands that we make consumption our way of life, that we convert the buying and use of goods into rituals, that we seek our spiritual satisfaction, our ego satisfaction in consumption. We need things consumed, burned up, replaced and discarded at an ever-accelerating rate.
What's going on over here?
The landscape of desire was where production, consumption, marketing, advertising, and the individual met." As the philosopher Jean Baudrillard, who we'll come back to shortly, points out in his classic The Consumer Society, heroes of production, colonizers, explorers, founders, industrialists, soon gave way to heroes of consumption, celebrities, gilded princes, and sports stars, notable figures that wore the latest designs and drove the flashiest cars.
Makes sense.
Paris was once the point of origin for fashion, but nowadays Paris can only send hints to Hollywood. For the rest of the continent looks to the motion picture screen for real information about clothes.
We are all the time in the UK. What's going on in this place?
But we don't just consume alone. We don't invent our own desires independently. Those figures, those heroes of consumption, and our social life more broadly.
What are those black things in the background? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I say this, but this looks really random, like random placed.
Provide models for mimicry. We're an inherently social species. In the old royal courts of Europe, adopting conspicuous styles stood one out from your competitors. Now, celebrities and models and the like set trends, but we all like to be ahead of the pack.
Okay.
In 1899, the sociologist Thorstein Veblen coined the term conspicuous consumption to describe the upper-class phenomenon of buying, displaying, and wearing luxury goods to distinguish themselves from their peers.
Makes sense.
In 1950, the economist Harvey Liebenstein adapted the idea of conspicuous consumption. He noted how not only did the wealthy adopt new styles to set themselves apart, but that the middle classes then copied them to try and display social status themselves. He called it the bandwagon effect.
The bandwagon effect. Isn't this a JoJo character?
The Veblen effect, as it's come to be known.
Oh no, it was Speedwagon. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Consumer goods is not just about use, utility, beauty, boredom, or innovation, but about status. The value of the good is not just determined by its usefulness, but by the social value of displaying it. But this idea
what the
of
hell?
status
What is this?
not even simply a surface phenomenon.
Stop this
Being in
unsaceness
the know
in my
is
stream
about
at once.
having the right knowledge, the right know-how, knowing the direction of the wind and trends.
What the? That people did this back then? So much food in a plane? What the frick?
It's all necessary for being accepted
It's a
in the correct
banquet.
circles, whether that's about class or about being a fashion designer or a tech entrepreneur. Even science has fashionable trends to consume. As the sociologist
he's inventing a new TV.
Sassatelli writes, there is the knowledge, gastronomical or social, that derives from having eaten out, tasted this or that dish, having used a given type of cutlery, and having managed well the phases of the meal, that is tasting, commenting on the dishes, chatting and exchanging information.
This act of social mimicry functions in a strange way, almost as if it's an engine. Often, once the vulgar, lesser, lower classes begin to adopt a certain style, then it no longer distinguishes the upper classes who bought into it as a fashion and used it to distinguish themselves as unique, as special.
I see.
And so trends keep revolving as new trendsetters turn away from the crowd and adopt new styles.
Interesting. Truly interesting. What is going on?
Sociologist George Simmel wrote that,
from when is this? Wait, is this for pictures? There's a painting in the background. I'm so confused what's going on.
The sociologist George Simmel wrote that as soon as the lower classes begin to copy their style, thereby crossing the line of the demarcation the upper classes have drawn and destroying the uniformity of their coherence, the upper classes turn away from this style and adopt a new one, which in turn differentiated them from the masses, and thus the game goes merrily on.
Interesting.
Baudrillard argued that in the post-war consumer society, not only is there conspicuous consumption, but a fantastic conspicuousness. We're everywhere surrounded by styles
he's in a hurry.
and images to imitate.
Oh no, is the police gonna tell her, hey, you just run over the street, stop it.
Gadgets to employ, and the
oh no, nothing is happening there, okay.
New fashions is inexorable.
Okay, so consumerism is maybe about creating new desires and social mimicry. But you might be wondering, what's bad about this? Where's the problem?
The problem is usually because it's too much, as in everything, you know? Food is good. You know, you eat, you feel good, you living for another day. You know, but if you eat too much, then it's not good anymore, then it's bad. I think it's about that.
I buy new camera equipment, new lights, new microphones and books. I have a bike over here that would be impossible to manufacture in the way that it is just 20 years ago. All of these things are desires that have been created. And, well, I watch reviews and things, especially on the internet, and I see what photographers use, etc. So that's the social mimicry. But the point I'm getting at, I guess, is that I find all of this stuff useful. I find the task I use them for, making YouTube videos, meaningful. And I hope you do too. So
I do, yeah.
Where's the problem?
Shopping for the problem. Damn. That's quite a picture.
We can categorize the problems critics have identified into two parts. One is quite simple. It's that consumption per se isn't necessarily bad, but its side effects, its unintended consequences, certain types of consumption are. These are things like addiction, environmental degradation, exploitative labour practices, offshoring, and so on.
Yeah.
I'll return to these issues shortly, but the other problem critics have identified is
what's
more
going on in the
philosophical,
background?
more sociological and psychological. It's that consumerism affects us in our very psyches, that we have a modern consumer mentality, and it's out of joint.
Okay.
One touchstone for this type of critique is the economist Kenneth Galbraith's The Affluent Society, published in 1958. Galbraith argued that now the very basic needs of most Americans had been met, supposedly, new demands had to be created artificially. Growth required consumption, and so it was the job of capitalists to be endlessly creating new desires to keep people running circuitously around the hamster wheel. He argued that our post-war society was one addicted to consumption at the expense of social and political problems. In a consumer society dominated by industry, growth is the central goal.
Damn.
There is, he says, an inherently unstable process of consumer debt creation as people borrowed more and more on credit cards. The focus as well on private.
We are in the 90s now, right? We spoke about it in the other video. Also, I have to be AFK for 1 second again. I'm sorry. Tschüss, Mathe. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's continue. So shopping is a problem, and now we are talking about people getting in debt.
Goods produced in his influential phrase, private opulence and public squalor, as more people became hedonistic and neglected their communities, civic societies and environments. He described people driving their mauve and cerise air-conditioned, power-steered and power-braked automobile through badly paved streets to have picnics of exquisitely packaged food from a portable icebox by a polluted stream.
Damn.
Because we become so focused on consumption, other values become marginalised.
We can understand this as a critique in the tradition of what's often been called alienation. Karl Marx had argued that capitalism alienates us from our true species being, that we fetishize commodities
What's going on?
Of their monetary exchange value, which covers up the social processes that went into the manufacture of the product. We see the world through the lens of a cash nexus, which covers up what's really going on in reality, in the social world, in the factories, in the labourers, and under the surface.
Unfair to organize labor. Okay, they are protesting.
Arguments about and definitions of alienation have taken many forms, but its most accessible, popular understanding is that we buy stuff we don't need sold by adverts we don't really want to see, that make us desirous of things we don't need to desire, in an addictive society that distorts, discounts our true needs.
In his book, Empire of Things, historian Frank Trentman argues that we used to see ourselves as part of the world, more holistically, and that the entire world and our experience of it was thought of more organically, more immediately, more sacredly even. He says, though, that this view was, quote, torn asunder by René Descartes, who in the 1640s argued that the mind was an entity separate from the body and the material world. A century and a half later, Immanuel Kant is said to have completed humankind's victory over things. What this means is that many philosophers of the Enlightenment argued that we could stand apart from the world, rationalize it, calculate it logically, see things objectively. This shift contributed to our mistaken belief that we could simply control the world around us, that we could manipulate and collect and examine objects and, as a consequence, consumer goods.
Interesting. I'd like to see how people lived back then.
Of course, we know this is...
I know I said this a few times, but this is Germany! I see it.
A mistake. Things have an
I'm
effect
sorry.
on us.
I had
The
to say
world
it. Someone
around
has to
us
say
has
it.
an effect on us. No matter how much we try to be the owner of our stuff, in many ways, becomes the owner of us.
That
Our
is true.
things determine what we think, how we perceive ourselves, what we do. They can turn us into addicts. They can frustrate us. They can lead us down routes that aren't
Like a
good
casino,
for
for
us, without
example.
us even knowing it. That's the alienation argument, that we're a sick society.
That is true.
Marx had called religion an opiate of the masses. It kept people docile, easily controlled, under the thumb of their rulers, distracted from the real problems around them. Now, many have argued, consumerism has taken on that mantle, becoming the opiate of the masses. The English novelist J.B. Priestley bemoaned in the middle of the 20th century that Britain was becoming like, quote, Southern California, with its TV and film studios, automobile way of life.
Wait, people actually were people actually protesting against this? Or like, were they super against this? Or is it only the politicians because they were like, your country's values are coming to our country now, I don't like this?
Drink what?
Is it something political, or is it just, you know, what people also believed?
In film studios, automobile way of life. You can eat and drink, watch films, make love without ever getting out of your car. It's flavourless cosmopolitanism and bogus religions. Or take this quote from Frankman's Empire of Things on a cinema goer from the 1920s. One young British woman, a shorthand typist who went to the pictures 4 times a week, found that seeing the marvellous places like New York and California on the screen left her
Ohio! Welcome! Big Mai. Welcome. Oh, wait, what? Is that E? Big Emma, I'm so sorry. Welcome, Emma, I'm sorry. I misread one of the letters. Welcome.
Miserable and unhappy sitting in my stuffy little office all day with nobody to talk to but myself, and to go home to a house that should have been knocked down 5 years ago.
I see now.
These quotes suggest that what we're surrounded by is somehow wrong, that we're subjected to and forced to absorb and embody great images of desires that we don't have, but others, mysterious others, often out of reach, often manipulated and polished to sell more adverts on screens, do.
Yeah.
The images, though, they aren't real. They're not representative of reality. They have no depth.
Yeah. Damn. Damn.
The postmodern consumer society is associated with the MTV viewer, channel hopping, flipping through images with an easily accessible remote, listening to disjointed sounds and flashing images, and watching flashing lights without really ever feeling anything, without ever really being connected to anything. The viewer, in sociologist Mike Featherstone's words, merely enjoys the multi-phrenic intensities and sensations of the surface of the images.
That's true, yeah.
It's all connected, because flipping through MTV works through
like
the
going
same
through
logic
Instagram
as
Reels
fast
or
fashion
TikToks,
and gadgets with built-in obsolescence. It's all
the same
fleeting.
thing.
Nothing lasts.
Also, yeah,
Quality
YouTube
diminishes. It's designed so that you consume it quickly and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. TikTok,
this is
basically.
a common critique of a postmodern culture that some say underpins our consumer culture. If you look at art, literature and film, they jump around stylistically, dotting about the surface, easily consumable. Fast fashion trends come and go. Styles in fashion and film are just stuck together in pastiche. The world moves so fast that nothing can be properly understood, analysed, critiqued. There is, in the philosopher Frederick Jameson's words, a depthlessness to our world. It's driven by production and consumption, but psychologizes us by infecting our culture too. The Frankfurt School philosophers Adorno and Horkheimer argued that Hollywood and the wider culture industry that developed across the 20th century was shallow. Everything was standardized to reduce costs and commodified to reach the widest consumer market. All culture, music, fashion, art, film, was reduced to the lowest common denominator so that it could be consumed by the largest number of consumers. They wrote, culture today is infecting everything with sameness. Film, radio and magazines form a system. Each branch of culture is unanimous within itself.
What is this?
All are unanimous together. Each character can pop up interchangeably.
They're on a driving car? Like this? People were crazy. People were freaking crazy, man. What the heck?
Together. Each character can
Look, it's driving. And they are doing this. Are you actually insane?
Interchangeably in
oh
each
my
film.
God.
Iron Man and Captain America can be replaced with new incarnations. Remakes and reboots are everywhere. Each new storyline is easily recognizable. The same types of humor resonate throughout, and product placement is everywhere. It's simple, easy, consumable. We can see similar arguments in three more thinkers: Frederick Jameson, Jean Baudrillard, and David Harvey.
I have no clue where they are.
Emphasis on the culture of our postmodern consumer society too. That it's obsessed with image, with shallowness, with a lack of depth. I want to quickly go through each one because there are similarities in them that might help us understand what unifies many of the critiques, and so we can then return to think about some better solutions maybe. After that, we'll turn to quickly what they might have left out, what criticisms of them there are, before trying to think of consumerism in a new way.
Real world or hyper real world?
Jean Baudrillard published The Consumer Society in 1970. I love this quote that really encapsulates the FOMO of consumerism and how
he invented FOMO?
Baudrillard really was.
What?
He wrote that consumerism came with a revival of a universal curiosity in respect of cooking, culture, science, religion, sexuality, etc. Try Jesus runs an American slogan. You have to try everything, for consumerist man is haunted by the fear of missing something, some form of enjoyment or other. You never know whether a particular encounter, a particular experience, Christmas in the Canaries, eel in whiskey, the Prado, LSD, Japanese-style lovemaking, will not elicit...
Wait, what? What did they wait, what? What is the last one having to do with anything else here? Wait, what? Wait, what? What is this about? What the hell?
Some sensation. It's no longer desire, or even taste, or a specific inclination that are at stake, but a generalized curiosity, driven by a vague sense of unease. Baudrillard was primarily concerned with image and language, the signs of consumer advertising and commercial speak. He talked about the dizzying abundance of those signs and argued that we were so saturated in the language of consumerism that the language dominated our lives more than any other way of communicating with each other. He wrote, "There is all around us today a kind of fantastic conspicuousness of consumption and abundance, constituted by the multiplication of objects, services and material goods, and this represents something of a fundamental mutation in the ecology of the human species." For Marx, under capitalism, what he called the use value of an object, the real value of what it's worth to me and us societally to use this mug, for example, had been replaced...
Wait, this was dirty, no? Shut the matter. Yeah, or?
This mug, for example...
Yeah, he already drank all of it. I saw the coffee stains. I saw that.
Had been replaced in our heads with an exchange value. We think instead about how much an item is worth economically. For example, someone might like this mug because it cost a lot of money and has diamonds implanted.
Like most Louis Vuitton items, for example.
Planted in the rim. Not because they like it aesthetically or think...
Yeah, they like it because it's expensive. You can buy the same product somewhere else for $10, but they sell it for $1,000 because they know some dude wants to buy it just to show off, hey, you bought this for $10? I bought it for $1,000. I'm better than you because I bought it for $1,000 and you bought it for $10. Which is the most stupid thing ever. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of those things. You might have noticed. Like, it's so stupid. Like if someone would say something like this to me, I would be like, like literally, I would be like, okay, so what? I can buy 100 of those, and then we have the same value. But the difference, I have it like, I have 100 times the experience than this guy is having. I don't know, apparently, but it's so stupid. Like, I don't understand this way of thinking. Like, I think in a way, like, if everyone is being, the people working on it are being paid enough, if the product is worth it, then sure, you can get it. But there's a limit. And I would draw the line at $1,000 for a bag. Yes. I wouldn't pay more than $200 for a bag. I'm serious.
I think it's the perfect size. Fetishizing commodities in this way also hides the social labour, the real work, the real lives that went into making the object.
Yes.
We simply think in market terms. On top of use value and exchange value, Baudrillard added a third value, sign value. We value things not by how useful they are, or even how much we can get for them economically, but what they signify to others socially. I might like this mug, for example, because it's a fashionable Ted Baker mug, and that confers some kind of social status.
Does it?
It's all logos.
Yeah.
He argued that this sign value was
we are
like a
talking
hidden
about
language
it.
that we all
Louis
unconsciously
Vuitton and the
speak.
other things. So
We
stupid.
live in a network of brand names, consumer images, movie stars with new shoes, and social status that depends largely on where we live, what we own, what our position is at work, and what we wear. And all of these things have a direct effect on what we value, what we desire, and what these things say about us to others. Baudrillard called this network a code, and he said that we were more concerned with the code than we were with reality, real.
Yeah.
He sees this consumer code as being like a language that speaks to all of us. We don't desire new things at random. Desires must be created, coded. They
trained.
must fit into a system of fantasy. New goods must somehow be inserted into the existing order of consumption.
Yeah,
Our desires aren't just biological, personal, individual, or based
there must be something special or fit right into the rest.
on use value, usefulness, or exchange value. That this is a gold-plated mug and so it will be worth more. But are socially constructed too. We are coded to desire socially, depending on others, depending on our social context. And this affects us. This determines how and what we think.
Our needs aren't rational, nor are they even about maximising utility. Social power rules. We are
Top Gun.
socialised, culturalised, consumerised by an abundance of messages, flashing lights, screens and magazines.
What the hell? What is this now? What is she doing? Why is everyone doing Fortnite dances in the back? What is going on here?
What drives this? Well, Baudrillard returns in many ways to Veblen's theory of...
I'm sorry, if you wear this, I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but I cannot take this serious.
Conspicuous consumption.
This piece
We
of
want
clothing.
to distinguish ourselves, set ourselves apart socially.
Look,
He
she
calls
got
it
the LGBT.
dialectic of conformism
I'm sorry,
and
LGBT
originality. We both
umbrella.
want to conform, be part of the pack, and be original, stand outside of the pack. There is, he says, quote, a need of the individual to differentiate himself as one more element in the repertoire of human needs, which it sees as alternating with the opposite need to conform. Manufacturers want to fit these new desires, this code, into our lives without continuously upending their whole manufacturing lines.
That is true.
Modern furniture is designed to be flexible, mobile, interchangeable, without depth so that it can fit together in different spaces and be moved around easily. Everything is in neutral colours and, like IKEA, fits together like a puzzle, like a code. Tradition, uniqueness, odd shapes, personal history is no longer important in the home. It's about flatness, neutral.
Wait a minute.
Important in the home.
Tomato. I know this place. I went there. This is in freaking Portugal, no? Yeah. What? Damn.
It's about flat.
Crazy things are happening in this lifetime. In this lifeline.
Every house, every home, exterior and interior,
Damn.
looks the same. Apple also
So many places
resembles
I've been
this,
in one video,
functions
it's
with
crazy.
The same logic as
Luckily we are
IKEA.
staying in
You're
Europe
sold
and
a
are not
new
going to
Mac,
the US.
And now you need a new iPad, iPhone, iWatch, AirPods. And if you don't have Apple, you need one because you might be left out.
Yeah, nah. I'm happy to have an Android phone.
You can't use iChat and you can't send photos easily to your friends. The consumer code draws you in. If not, you're ostracized. Anticipating Apple, Baudrillard says that
that's
few
fine.
objects today are offered alone, without a context of objects which speaks them. Shop windows, adverts, brand names all come together in a cohesive vision. Baudrillard is famously pessimistic about this state of affairs. He argues we're so soaked in this type of culture that we can no longer discover our true, authentic needs underneath. Everything is alienated because everything can be exchanged away. Nothing is transcendental. Everything is pastiche. The car advert relies on the sunglasses. The sunglasses are advertised with someone on holiday relaxing by the pool on a holiday package trip. The dream is a holiday in Bermuda because that's where Brad Pitt went and that's what he talked about on a chat show. All of these phenomena build, construct and direct our desires. But true meaning, he says, what we really need is lost.
Yes.
He uses the example of kitsch products to illustrate what he means.
Oh, okay. Those tourist shops. Wait, this is close to the freaking Hard Rock Hotel, no?
Kitsch goods are everywhere. They're trashy objects, folksy knickknacks, souvenirs, he says. But they're shallow imitations. They're no longer connected to the real reason. The original reason the piece of art or the historical landmark was produced. Kitsch is the ultimate in artificial desire.
Damn.
He writes, kitsch can be anywhere. In the detail of an object or in the plan of a new residential area, in an artificial flower or in a photo novel. It can be best defined as a pseudo-object, or, in other words, a simulation, a copy, an imitation, a stereotype, as a dearth of real signification and a superabundance of signs. The kitsch object is a sign. It's not about the object. It signifies that you've been somewhere, been on holiday to Rome and seen the Colosseum, or London and seen Big Ben. They are just, quote, part of the package, the constellation of accessories by which the socio-cultural standing of the average citizen is determined. Pop art functions in a similar way. It's also...
Yeah, this 80s. Was she in the 80s? Or was it earlier? It might be earlier. I messed up.
Ignoring the true, deep meaning that's been ignored and hidden. He says, whereas all art up to pop was based on a depth vision of the world, pop regards itself as homogeneous with this imminent order of signs, homogeneous with their industrial mass production, and hence with the artificial manufactured character of the whole environment.
I didn't know that. So now we know what pop means. Okay, we are on the highway.
We see a similar critique of the shallowness of our postmodern landscape in the American philosopher Frederick Jameson. His essay, turned into a book, Postmodernism or the Cultural Logic of Late Capitalism, published in 1984, has been called the most discussed article of the 1980s. For Jameson, there is a particular reason why consumer culture is shallow. He writes that our postmodern culture is schizophrenic. It jumps from place to place and relies on, quote, a new depthlessness, which finds its prolongation both in contemporary theory and in a whole new culture of the image, and the weakening of historicity, both in our relationship to public history and in the new forms of our private temporality. What this means is that culture has become so shallow that our relationship to the depth of history, the history that produced us, has been lost.
That is true. It feels like it, at
Culture is
least.
fragmented because capitalism is fragmented. We are
here we go.
detached from everything
The
because
capitalism.
we have to be. Styles change, trends change, conditions change, jobs change, information changes quicker than we can ever keep up.
That
and
is
so
true.
we're psychologically
That's why boomers exist.
schizophrenic, frantically trying to keep up.
Because you cannot keep up.
Jameson famously compares Van Gogh's A Pair of Boots from 1887, a modernist painting, with Andy Warhol's postmodern 1980 diamond dust shoes. He argues that Van Gogh's shoes are connected to a real world. He says, the whole missing object world, which was once the shoe's lived context, the heavy tread of the peasant woman, the loneliness of the field path, the hut in the clearing, the worn and broken instruments of labour in the furrows and at the hearth. But now, on the other hand, quote, Andy Warhol's diamond dust shoes evidently no longer speaks to us with any of the immediacy of Van Gogh's footgear. Indeed,
it's true.
I'm tempted to say that it does not really speak to us at all. Nothing in this painting organises even a minimal place for the viewer. We're witnessing the emergence of a new kind of flatness or depthlessness.
Stop
a new
those effects.
kind of
What are you doing?
superficiality. He says that the same process is visible in our broad, popular cultural understanding of the Vietnam War. It's shaped not by reality, not by real history, real politics or real understanding, but by Hollywood films, protest music, flashy television news. Like Warhol's shoes, it's disconnected, more imaginary than real.
Crazy. Oh. Hey, what is this? Why is it on the half of it? Ah.
The Marxist thinker David Harvey writes more about the economic foundations of this depthlessness. If you study the supply chains of any fast fashion company, any tech company, in fact, the majority of consumer goods, you'll find that the manufacturing process is fractured, outsourced, subcontracted, divided into small parts and separate companies across the globe.
Yes.
A button made here, a screen there, a screw in one place and a thread in another. For Harvey and Jameson, these facts of material production, what's going on underneath, how the economy is structured, is the reason the culture that results from it is so shallow. It doesn't have time to be anything but, and is constantly pushing for new trends. By the time a story, a news item, a television show, a piece of art, or even a topic of discussion is produced, the world is moving on, manufacturing new product lines in new places based on new ideas. Harvey sees our postmodern consumer society as a result of the shift from Fordism, vertically integrated factories all owned and controlled by a single company overseeing each part of the process, to what he calls flexible accumulation. Flexible accumulation is defined by outsourcing and subcontracting to break up the process into smaller bits, offsetting risks, making smaller companies compete with one another for contracts so as to get the lowest price, being able to drop a manufacturer and hire a new one as soon as needed when a style or trend changes. This leads to a fractured and segmented economic system across the
things
globe,
are working,
and a
unfortunately.
fractured and segmented culture as a result. New communications technologies, GPS, data centers, the internet, electronic banking, etc., add to the speed and the flexibility
What in the green
of
screen
the
was
system,
that?
the rate at which things can change. Harvey writes that The mobilization of fashion in mass as opposed to elite markets provided a means to accelerate the pace of consumption not only in clothing, ornament and decoration, but also across a wide swath of lifestyles and recreational activities, leisure and sporting habits, pop music styles, video and children's games, and the like.
Interesting. Oh.
Thank you very much.
Coffee.
And so lifestyles are adopted and discarded at the same rates as new trends. Nothing is around long enough to be examined, understood or identified with any depth. We become detached, postmodern, lost.
Fashion trends are adopted, mimicked, stolen and ripped off. Fads and countercultures are co-opted, profited from, then discarded.
But she had the horns on her back.
Solid melts.
Oh! Assos. Okay, never mind. I thought it's Shein.
into air, as Marx wrote.
Facebook.
Everything is disposable.
Does anyone still know Facebook?
Napkins, cups, cameras, batteries and pens are used up and thrown away. Because everything is fast, a quick turnover in images follows. Sponsorship, television styles,
wait, isn't
new
this
cars,
the
new styles in cinema
shaving
and
thing?
literature, new memes and new celebrities.
Pepsi!
Harvey illustrates how
to
the
make
shift
potatoes.
between integrated Fordist
I want
factories
potatoes.
and global flexible accumulation has affected our culture with the proliferation of art galleries.
What was
in
that?
New York in 1945, there were just a handful of galleries. Now, 150,000 artists in New York claim professional status.
Yeah,
there are
that's
more
crazy.
than 700 galleries,
150,000?
producing more than 50 million artworks across a decade. And they're all bound up in the production.
I'm sorry. I know many people will hate me for that. But this is... For me, personally... I say this because I will trigger a lot of people with that. But for me personally, this is not art. Like, those three things I would be fine with, but the thing on the right, what is that, man? Like, what is this? Like, I like to, when I think about art, I like to compare it with, okay, would you put it on your shirt or your hoodie or your clothing and walk around with this and be proud that you are wearing this piece of clothing? That's how I like to compare it. I would be fine with, I would not necessarily be proud, but I would be fine with having like a tree like this on my shirt or like a whale like that. You know, it would be fine. And probably people would not complain. But this... Oh, Ohio! Welcome in Van... Wait, what? In Vandex Williams. Welcome. Yeah, I wouldn't wear something with this thing. Like, I would be like, what happened to your shirt? Did you paint a building? What happened? Did a bucket fell on your clothes? Like, the pattern itself, I want to clarify. The pattern itself is not bad, you know, but the amount of things used here it's just too much. Like, I don't think this is art. This is a random guy. He had some leftover colors and he painted everything on this painting. That's what happened here. Personal opinion. You can hate me for it, but yeah.
Of new images that can be exchanged and co-opted by
like, yeah, this is fine.
Culture,
this is fine.
Which ultimately is about
look at those things. They all look like those paintings basically, but not like this thing on the right side.
Manufacturing and moving things on as quickly as possible. The problem, he says, is capital flight,
what the freak?
Deindustrialization of some regions and the industrialization of others, the destruction of traditional working class communities as power bases in class struggle.
A shallow society.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Jump scare.
Let's summarize. There are two critiques.
Yes.
The one we just covered is about alienation, about us psychologically, that there's a depthlessness. Everything is surface. Everything moves too quickly. And according to many, we're alienated from our true needs, from the true use value of objects and goods. This is a kind of humanist critique. It focuses on us, on our being.
Yes.
The other critique is somewhat simpler. It's that consumerism is destroying the planet and the environment. That consumerism per se isn't bad, but the appalling work conditions and labour rights and child labour practices
that's
in
why
places like
sustainable
Bangladesh are.
Products are so important.
I want to argue now that both can be seen as a type of depthlessness. And asking the question, what's the opposite of depthlessness? What is depth? What could depth mean? Might help point us in the right direction.
Okay.
The humanist problem, the problem essentially of alienation, has been criticised by people who say, alienation from what? Is there really any true, authentic self to be alienated from? Aren't we all just the product of self-creation, an assemblage of experiences differing from person to person, place to place? This is Douglas Kellner's critique of Baudrillard, but he says we're surrounded by image and sign and a hyper-reality that alienates us from the real existence, the real true being of everyday traditional life. But he posits no real way out, no theory of change. And if consumerism alienates us, but there is no true self anyway, on what basis can it be wrong? I think this is true, but it doesn't mean we can't be alienated from our true needs, that certain things have a negative effect on us and the world, and other things a better effect, that some states of affairs in the world are more desirable than others, more fitting of how we want to live. I want to very quickly draw from two philosophers, Sartre and Spinoza, to make the case that to challenge the negatives of consumerism, we should aim to turn the depthlessness that is central to critiques of it into its opposite, depth. In turn, we aim to turn an alienated life into a more fulfilling one. The anthropologist Mary Douglas wrote that the main problem of social life is to pin down meaning so that they stay still for a little time.
Okay.
So whether it's fast-moving images or our clothes being made by children thousands of miles away, this idea holds. There's so much going on that it's impossible to understand.
That's why Komoribi will exist.
Pin it down. And so in many areas we live shallowly, not understanding. Not thinking, not able to
mentioning it,
comprehend
I don't know when
what
we will
goes into the construction of our everyday lives.
So how
we are back.
pin down our fast-moving consumer culture to analyse it in depth?
Oh.
Thank you. That coffee was £5. That's about $7-8.
Yeah, that's expensive.
The 17th century Dutch philosopher Baruch Spinoza suggested that we look at the world from what he described as the perspective of eternity.
Okay.
We should examine the causes of things, where they come from, how they function. We should always analyse our ideas, actions and desires, looking outwards and understanding them in the wider context of the world, like a spiderweb. We should look at things essentially in depth.
Did you know that when spiders, this is some useless, maybe it's useful knowledge. Did you know that when spiders are leaving a place, they are taking the spider web with them? Like they are, eating it or something. I don't know what exactly they are doing, but they are removing it and then they are moving to a new place. Did you know that? Isn't that crazy? So if you see a spider web, but no spider is around in your place, it usually means that the spider died. It either died or fell down and didn't get back anymore, things like that. Crazy, right?
Understand where our food and clothes come from and the effect they're having on us and the wider community and world. And the French existentialist Jean-Paul Sartre made a similar point. He argued that our projects, our ideas, our opinions and values, our perspective on the world should fit together and rhyme. We should look at how things inform and affect one another. He argues that our experiences should fit together in a structure of meaning that we then impose onto the world.
Yeah,
Meaning
no,
can
it
be made deeper,
makes sense,
more
technically.
connected, more, well, meaningful, by uncovering and creating patterns between things so that the world rhymes, so that there's rhythm and coherence.
Can you stop taking pictures of me, please?
So if I make YouTube videos,
Hello?
I become interested in cameras to film, but then I also become interested in photography and in how and where my cameras are made, what other things I can do with them, the history and philosophy of filmmaking and photography. These are brief references to two philosophers I've introduced in depth on the channel before.
Okay.
But I think
Who is
they
it?
get at something that shines a light on the depthlessness of consumer culture. And they help with a problem I think thinkers like Jameson and Baudrillard run into.
MTV.
After reading them, you
They're
get
running
the
into
impression
MTV.
that consumerism is one totalizing thing. Everything gets lumped in with it.
Peanut
Everything
butter.
is just consumed negatively.
Peanut
and that
butter
all
is such an
images-
American thing, by the way. In Europe, there's not a single person eating freaking peanut butter. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy.
And adverts and consumer goods are equally
Premium.
negative and equally
Is she
alienating.
taking the premium?
This ignores that not all
Take the
things
premium.
are consumed
Yeah.
shallowly. Some are experienced,
There we go.
approached and consumed with some depth. I buy new cameras and microphones, books, a drone, clothes, new food, seek new recipes, go on holidays, precisely because they bring me the opposite of depthlessness. They create depth in my life. Someone might have bought this because they visited Westminster Abbey and they found it educational. They learnt a lot. They found it spiritual and want to be reminded of it and think about it at home in their kitchen. So to finish, let's have a quick look at how depth is created, but also what the limits of this way of thinking might be.
Okay. An ethics of consumption. Okay. Where are we? Waiting for us?
Sassatelli argues that often, rather than simply consuming brainlessly, consumers are active in the act of consumption. They're also often decodifying, reinterpreting and criticising the PR, the adverts, the marketing, the products they consume. We're not just zombies
That is
taken
true.
in by every advertising board we see.
Oh
She
my
writes
god.
that consumption often consists in reframing the meaning and uses of material culture by translating the purely commercial value of goods into other forms of value. Affection, relationships, symbolism, status, normality, etc. She continues, saying that recent studies of audiences and media consumption show that spectators actively decodify messages and images, referring them to the context in which they are experienced, to their own social position, gender, life course, and so on. Take DIY. Yes, new tools.
I thought he's about to hit us with this. Damn.
Some paints and
Crazy.
furniture are advertised and sold to us, but they're often decommodified, made personal, adapted and decorated and fixed and things, and adorned with family photos or meaningful items in the home. This becomes a kind of de-commoditized sphere, a personal sphere between family, between friends, at events and online. We use musical instruments to create new, individual, unique music. We paint and produce art and discuss and trade second-hand items on social media. We fill up photo books with personal memories. We give
Not anymore.
All of these things transcend the flatness of consumerism and bring in more personal, social, ethical or transcendental ideas.
What is going on?
In 1970, Baudrillard pointed to the typewriter that can write in 13 different fonts and a diction machine to record notes as examples of pointless gadgets. To me though,
why not?
These seem useful.
Yeah.
I use different fonts to convey different ideas or emotional tone quickly and effectively. It's another layer to language.
Yes.
And others find recording to remember important things
or make it different from the rest.
Jotting them down. Sassatelli also points to how the Walkman was criticised when it was first released for representing alienation, anomie, and atomization, despite listening to music on the go clearly being representative of many other things: escape, heightened experience, resistance, creativity, energy.
This is how you make a cassette? What? I didn't know.
She also writes about the positive experience of connoisseurship, of collectibles and hobbies. She says, the pervasive allure
I don't know
of
what this was.
connoisseurship may be seen as having to do with mastering objects and demonstrating aestheticized detachment from them. By piling up a complex repertoire of knowledge, the connoisseur finds a way to get close to commodities while distancing him or herself from their immediate hold. Others have pointed to cinema, television, and image more broadly being deeper than is often assumed. In his book on Baudrillard, Adam Roberts writes that for Baudrillard, Vietnam...
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the calendar on the right is really triggering me. Why is it almost falling off? Can someone fix this freaking calendar on the right, please? I'm sorry, this is triggering me so much.
Was a war flattened and emptied out to a basic layer of violence, mixed in with popular culture and TV,
crazy.
Accompanied in many people's imagination by a soundtrack of 1960s pop music. But the violence and death was not hyperreal or simulated. It was real.
Yes.
My point is, in amongst the problems we've identified with consumer society, which are deep and vast, and all of these thinkers provide a really useful and important framework for analysing them, everywhere we look at the same time, we can also find depth, meaning, usefulness, creativity, and connection too. And we can apply this seeking after all these things, after depth, to our understanding of how things like supply chains work, what we think is unethical and what we think is ethical, what we want to support and what we want to avoid, what we want to push to regulate, to organise against, to think against, to politically change. And I think this is the opposite of shallowness, of depthlessness, the opposite of alienation.
Damn.
But am I being naive? Am I ignoring other issues? The breadth and scope of the problem, the addiction to new fashions, pointless new purchases, pollution or child labour, say? I guess, at least in part, what I'm arguing is that if you look at the consequences of your purchases in depth, if you think about the message, the result, the meaning in your own and in others' lives, then you can become a kind of ethical consumer.
Yeah, no,
but
it's true. It's
really true?
It is.
Even as the term ethical consumption has become more popular, as we've become increasingly aware of the pitfalls of fast fashion and the environmental degradation of consumption, bottled water sales, To take just one simple example of...
Yeah, this is crazy. The water bottling is insane. It is actually insane. I don't know about other countries. I can only speak about Germany again. But in Germany, I think for water worth about 0.00 something 1 cents. This is what the content of one water bottle, like what the company gets it out for, and then they resell it. They put it in a plastic bottle, and then they sell it for like €1 or €2. It is crazy, like it is insane.
Continued to rise and are projected to do so almost indefinitely.
Yes.
Palm oil, a major cause of deforestation, is still in half of packaged products.
Yeah, I hate
Fast
people.
fashion companies
I hate the
continue to pay
deforestation.
below the minimum wage.
Oh my god, I can't speak.
Even in so-called developed Western countries,
Yeah.
garment factories continue to burn down, and scientists still warn against climate change to deaf ears.
Yeah,
but
this
working
is
out
still
whether
the
more
case,
conscious
unfortunately.
consumerism works at all is difficult to do.
On the one hand, we continue to outsource to places like Bangladesh and see these tragedies that are the result of poor health and safety, terrible regulations and labour practices. But at the same time, the ILO, the International Labour Organization, says that child labour is down by 1/3 since 2000.
Yeah,
and
that's
61% of fashion companies have committed to using sustainable fabrics.
Thank you.
That is, when there's cultural pressure on manufacturers, on what we eat and wear, then there does appear to be some change.
Which is
On
good.
the other hand, Northwestern University professor Braden King has argued that boycotts have a negligible
Why is she screaming to them? What is going on?
effect on a company's sales revenue. He says that the problem is we can't pay attention to any single controversy for very long.
Yeah.
Yes, we talk about and we see news items on things like the tragic run.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's true. Like, everyone knows about it, everyone talks about it, but 5 minutes later, they see an advertisement for the new McDonald's burger, and they're like, oh, let's go to McDonald's. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it better than that.
Rana Plaza building collapse in Bangladesh back in 2013 when over 1,000 died.
Yeah.
We talk about it for a bit,
Yeah.
but then we move on to other things. It gets quickly forgotten.
And
Yeah.
Terry Hathaway at the London School of Economics writes that even the most hyper-vigilant, well-informed shopper cannot know everything. The labour and conditions, the tools and the production of these tools, the raw materials and their extraction, the energy, etc. that go...
Yeah, I mean, even in Komorebi, like, everything I know about is the labor and the conditions. Of course, I know the tools they use as well and the materials. I don't know where they're coming from, to be honest. I'm completely transparent. You cannot know everything, even if you are the ones selling those things. Because it's impossible to do it for every single product, you know?
Goes into making even the most simple products. Instead, the consumer must buy in partial ignorance of all the factors, primarily on the basis of those attributes that are the most conspicuous, and to some degree based on trust. He continues, shopping at Whole Foods could be construed as support for higher welfare meat and organic agricultural methods, but it will equally support union busting, low wages for workers, and right-wing libertarian politics.
Damn, okay.
So here is the crux of it. Our consumer society is messy, complex. It can both sustain us creatively and can destroy the planet. So maybe it is a useless concept.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're better off thinking about it in its original sense, as consumer from the Latin, to use up. There's not a noun as something that just describes our society, but as a verb, as something we're all doing or can do or do at a certain time. And like anything we do, there's a chain of activity, social and historical and environmental and economic, that supports the consumption and that we in turn support by consuming. Only by studying the understanding of issues like this in depth can we grapple with these problems. Thinking about regulation, changing the economic system, organising politically, it's all a part of understanding these things in depth. And everyone's interpretation of what to do, what they think is justified, what they think isn't, will be different. But as long as you're exploring your own attitudes, looking at the consequences, I think that's okay.
I agree with that statement.
And for many, like journalist Alden Wicker, ethical consumption just doesn't work. Instead, he argues, we should donate some of the money we would spend on consumption on going greener or on donations to NGOs and green politicians.
It's a good
but to me,
argument.
This is part of ethical consumption. It's part of thinking broader, thinking more deeply about the issues.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are many shops nowadays where, also for clothing, when you buy something, you can, leave a small tip to give to, I don't know, some organization, And it exists. It does exist.
In the same vein, commentator Robert Reich has reminded us that when you hear a company boast about how environmentally friendly it is, hold the applause. Under super competitive capitalism, what I've termed super capitalism, it's naive to think corporations can or will sacrifice profits and shareholder returns in order to fight global warming. Firms that go green to improve their public relations or cut their costs or anticipate regulations are being smart, not virtuous.
Are those rings? What are those?
So it's important to approach all this with a multifaceted attitude. Depth means more eyes on the issues. Depth means engaging with the politics. Depth means exploring our own desires and beliefs vigilantly. Taking an issue, something we consume, and understanding the ramifications. And this, doing some practical philosophy, trying to apply the things we've just learned, is something that I want to try and do next time.
Okay. Sounds fair. Where is the stand? Oh, it is. I think. Yes.
Thank you as always for
Damn.
watching.
What a
huge thanks,
video.
of course, as always, to my Patreons, without which this just wouldn't be possible. So if you want to see scripts, if you want to chat in the Discord server, if you want your name in the credits, but most of all, if you just
Go for it.
support this content, then click the link in the description below. If not, you can like, you can share, you can leave a comment, all those things that help the algorithm. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for the video. Thank you for the video. This is a good one. This was a really good one. So yeah, I don't know. This was then and now a really nice video, a really nice channel with documentary content. Oh, and yeah. Damn, this was a long one, and I'll be completely honest, my brain is not ready for Japanese today. So I will just say we will skip it for today. I'm thinking maybe we can move it to the beginning of the stream for the next ones, because every time I'm getting exhausted at the end, because we consume so much information. I'm like, what is happening? So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And yeah, but for today, this is gonna be it. And I don't know. I mean, it was a nice reaction day. Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow we have a lot of Steam games, I believe. Let's check. Post. Yes. Tomorrow we are having a lot of Steam games. So we will play some random games that I downloaded about. I already have a list. Well, I have half of a list. I already downloaded all of them. I just have to sort them. I have to check how many achievements are there so that we can maybe, you know, play the quick games first and then we can go to the ones that are a little bit longer. And on Sunday we are playing Inzoi for the first time. Can you believe it? I never played it before. I saw it a lot, but I never played it. I never played Sims as well. I watched it, but I never played it myself. So this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be really interesting. And yeah, this is gonna be it for today. It was a nice evening with some reactions. I hope you all enjoyed the Black Friday, even though we just watched those consumption documentaries. And I hope that, yeah, you are waiting for Cyber Monday and getting some nice deals. If you are buying something, yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for checking by. I have nothing else to say. I will try to adjust the mobile overlay until tomorrow, and I will schedule another mobile vertical stream for tomorrow as well, I think, because this is it was a test. I don't know if I will finish everything until tomorrow. If I don't finish it, then there will not be a vertical stream. Yeah, we will see. Okay, thanks for watching and Otsurio. Bye bye.